God, I'm good. I'm like, what?
That started on God, I'm good.
Ready. Oh,
Aggressive, I feel so good.
God, it's good to be God. All right,
What are
I
we
mean,
even?
me. All right.
I need
so-
this.
So, we're starting the session without Infernos. He is MIA at the moment, which is, real life happens sometimes, folks.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to believe that because we live in the world of YouTube, but yeah, we do break out once in a while.
Yeah.
maybe the agents found him. Oh God.
Why am I picturing real life as like a freaking natural disaster that just kind of goes through areas?
It pretty much is, yeah.
It's just a force of nature. You can't stop it.
Oh no! Real life's coming. Batten down that.
It's just like
look
a
busy.
tornado. It's like a tornado made up of like homework and bills and recession.
It's always papers, isn't it? Always papers.
Oh God, we are recording this, by the way.
Yeah.
Brain
So this will be
so
in the
we are-
episode.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Inferno might be joining us later. He might not. We are unsure, but we are going to go ahead and get started for now. So here's how we're going to start the session. If you recall, last night in the game world, Cyber 6 made you guys a deal, and you guys decided to, for now, take him up on the offer. You're not sure if you're going to follow it all the way through. You're going to just go and then pretty much go as far as you guys feel you are motivated to.
Yeah.
Words good I do now. And you have a gigantic robot battle royale tournament for the newbies, with a hover bike on the line. Pretty sweet hover bike.
Yeah.
Bike. Dick.
Yeah.
Beck.
Pretty sweet hover bick. On the line. So what we'll do is we'll say it's the next morning. And you, Talavac and Xavier and Lucas, when last we left, are scheduled to be at the robot tournament in, say, like an hour. And I'll handle this more narratively. What does everyone want to do? Because I know, Isaac, you're not going to be going to the tournament.
Nope.
Well, Lucas is going to sneak off to the lower levels in the residence area. The huge ass residence area.
When you say sneak, do you mean literally you plan to sneak? Like, are you telling the others that you're going, or are you sneaking off?
I am sneaking off.
Oh joy! All right.
Like the Pink Panther on your tippy toes.
I'm going in my ninja costume.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Okay. So Talavac.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm sorry, Isaac. First, what would you be preparing to do? So Lucas is missing. Isaac, what are your plans?
Well, last he heard, the three of them were gonna be participating in that robot deathmatch thing, so he would be getting ready to go and approach the Flanders Paradise counter, or wherever it would be on center.
Okay.
To contact Flanders Paradise to try and get the contact details for Sarah.
Okay. Okay, so we'll do this first. You're about to head out to go to Flanders Paradise's counter, and you'll run into Talavac. Talavac, is it safe to say that you're searching for your robot partner?
Let's see. Well, yeah, I'm excited to go and stuff, and if I haven't seen him, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, you will not have seen him at all. Xavier, for the time being, we'll say Xavier is getting up and getting ready too. He's around, but you don't see Lucas at all.
of course, Lucas would bail out. Ugh.
I love how that's the
Alright.
first assumption.
I
Not that he might have been kidnapped. Nah, man. He straight up bailed.
don't think anybody would kidnap you for very long. Let's just say that much. All right.
Want to look.
They would send you back with the money that they wanted. Okay. Anyway, I'd be a little concerned, but I'm not worried about it. I mean, fashionably late or whatever. But I'm just gonna follow his plan.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, okay. Give me 1 second. Why am I missing something? Oh, uno momento, por favors. Por favors. Okay. So, we'll do it this way. As Xavier and Talavac head down towards the robot battle royale, since it is technically further away than the Flanders Paradise counter, as you as all of you exit the hotel around the same time, you will find standing out in front of the hotel, leaned up against one of the pillars nearby, is Cyber 6. And he tips his sombrero to you and says, "Morning."
Hey. And Isaac is dressed in his normal cowboy outfit.
He nods. He says, "Headed for the battle royale?"
No. I'm not. Robots fighting seems neat, but I'd rather fight with my hands. Or if it was like a robot horse race, I'd be down for that. It's just not my cup of tea.
I see. Well, he looks to Talavac and Xavier, and he'll nod his sombrero to them. Well, good luck to you. I probably won't be there. It'd be a little bit weird for me, but I wish you all the luck.
I just rub my hands together. Gotta go win me a fight.
He nods, and he says, "Well then, Isaac, what are your plans?
Well,
If you don't mind me asking."
no, we're partners now. So, we did meet somebody on Flanders Paradise, which is the vacation that we were at for the past week. And she was an employee. She did mention on the way back to Center that she had lost contact with her mother. And hadn't heard from her in a few days and was going to check the residential area of Center. So I was thinking that perhaps the best place to start would be at to try and get her contact details from Flanders Paradise company, whatever that thing that controls it, operates it. I can't remember what the mother company is.
I see. That's, I suppose, as good a place to start as any. You mind if I tag along?
Sure.
Well, then shall we go? If you don't mind, whether we get the information or not, I was planning on meeting up with the rest of the team in about an hour to discuss leads anyway. You're welcome to accompany.
Sounds great.
And then he again tips his hat to Talavac.
All right.
And before you guys go, Isaac will say good luck, by the way.
All right. I just gotta give you like the finger by, you know what I'm saying? Like later.
Mm-hmm.
To what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay. So I'm heading off to that. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are headed off towards that. Isaac, you and Cyber 6 head towards the Flanders Paradise main offices. They're not hard to find. One quick look at a registry, and you should be able to find it. They are in the manor, so on the first level of Center. So not that far from where you are currently, since you're staying in one of the fancy schmancy hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a fairly small building, given the buildings around it. but still pretty large. And you walk through the doors. As you walk through the doors, Cyber 6 will whistle and go, must have been some vacation if the headquarters looks like this.
Yeah, each ticket was about a $500,000, and everything there was free. I mean, literally, that one night after the lady I was with decided to dump me, I decided to have like 5 40s, 40-ounce bottles of whiskey delivered to my room, and it was free at midnight.
Whistles again. He says, and I thought I was coming at you with an offer you couldn't refuse, but if you're throwing cash around like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's gonna look around and see if anybody's nearby first.
No, there's a few people walking back and forth, but no one is within hearing range of you.
Yeah. Like I said, the last job we pulled was Siren. We went there, got some of these little gemstones, like a whole bunch of them, and we ended up getting about I want to say 180 million from everything.
He whistles again. And then for the third time, and then he says, Siren, I swear that name's familiar for some reason.
Yeah,
Damn
it's
rusty circuits.
like I said, it's on the rim. We were only there for about a month, infested with these things called Palladiums. Giant lizards that come in all shapes and sizes. Well, some are giant, some are small. Most of them are eaten. That kind of thing.
He looks at you and he shrugs a bit. And he says, it's on the tip of my mind, but honestly, with the amount of planets and realities out there, he shrugs again.
Mm-hmm.
And about that time, you're walking up to the front desk. And there is a portly gentleman with spectacles. And he's at his computer and he says, yes, how may I help you?
1 second. All right. I was wondering if you could help me out. I've been trying to look for somebody that I met on the cruise, that I took last week.
I see.
She was an employee. In fact, did you hear what happened with the night entertainment? And he's gonna get kind of close. The murder mystery thing.
If you're asking if I know of it, yes. If you're asking have I heard anything unusual, no.
Oh. Because me and my friends were the ones that helped out that week, and it was a rousing success. I was wondering if you could help me out in trying to track down an employee that tried to set everything up, and perhaps maybe I could buy her a drink to say thank you.
She is an employee or was an employee?
Is. Her name is Sarah, and she worked the front desk last week. She came back to center and lives on the 8th level. I just don't know where or her contact details.
Understandably, sir, company policy is such that we are not allowed to give away private, personal information of our employees to just any passerby.
Yeah. I figured I'd give it a shot. I just guess I'll just wait for her to try and contact me then.
Yes, please do. Is there anything
Okay.
else I can help you with, sir?
No, that's it.
Very good, sir. And he just kind of goes back to the computer.
Isaac will turn around, shrug, and go, well, figured I'd try. I mean...
As you start walking away, Cyber 6 leans in close and he goes, if you can make a distraction, I might be able to hack the computer.
What do you mean if I can make a distraction? Like,
Well, it's hard to hack a computer when the gentleman in question is right in front of it.
Can I get a rundown of what is there again?
Sure. It
Describe the
is
scene.
a dark gray marble room with pillars in rows, almost like Romanesque type pillars. And there's the door in the front. There's about 50 paces from the door to the front desk where you were. The front desk is like a semicircle marble desk with it looks actually very sparse. While everything looks very nice, it also looks very sparse. There's like a computer on the desk and that's it. But there is very comfortable seating and up and like reading tables, and there's a fountain in the middle and a large aquarium to the left side of the front entryway. And there's about 10 pillars spaced out in the very large room.
Is there a chandelier or anything?
No, the lighting seems to be fixed into the ceiling, like flush with the ceiling.
I don't know what kind of distraction I could make, to be honest.
All right. Cyber 6 would just shrug and you go, just a thought.
Yeah. And there's only one guy, right?
There's only one employee. There's a few, like I said, there's a few other people around, but they don't wear uniforms. They're sitting in chairs and reading something, or one of them seems to be asleep. I'd say there's about 3 people spaced out. None of them are very close to you.
Yeah, I might be brain farting, but other than actually trying to distract the guy, which I have nothing for with my brain right now, I could try doing that, but I mean,
no. Hey, you do what you're comfortable with, sir.
I just can't think of anything to talk about right now. Could I maybe do a skill check?
Sure. What kind of skill would you like to use?
I don't know. Streetwise?
Well, tell you what, actually, let's do it this way. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to, of course. Why don't I cut to someone else? Give you some time to think.
Yeah,
and then when we come back, either you'll have an idea or you won't, and either way is fine.
Yeah.
All right, then. I'm going to... Lucas, do you mind if I cut over to Talavac real fast?
Go for it.
All right. So Talavac and Xavier, you guys arrive at the robot, the Naruni gladiatorial robot pits. And when you arrive, you're ushered in, and they will handle this more narratively if you don't mind, especially since I don't want to be playing Xavier.
Right.
They ask about where your third member is. What would you tell them?
Just like, I don't know. I guess something came up, and I'm just like, hey, I don't think he'll be here.
Oh, well, that's fine. They'll ask if you'll be at a disadvantage, but if you're still willing to continue, the rules don't forbid it.
A minimum of 2, right?
Exactly. A minimum of 2. 2 would be necessary to even pilot the robot. You might be able to move it, but you wouldn't be able to fire any weapon systems or vice versa.
What would the second person be able to do?
Like I said, one person would be piloting, one person would be firing weapons, yeah.
I got you. Thinking to myself, can I still do this?
Oh, hang on one second. Actually. Give me 1 second, guys. I just heard from Infernos.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, how's everyone doing?
Good. Sorry about that.
No,
worries.
it's fine. We determined that real life is a natural disaster and that it hit you.
Well, not quite. I'm having problems with my right eye again, so I had a rest about hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours ago.
Mhm.
My alarm didn't go off, so I'm just
Oh.
glad that I didn't oversleep the entire session. That I was only, depending on when we start, I'm either only 17 minutes late or 47 minutes late, which is better than being 3 hours late
Yeah.
or sleeping through it at all.
Alrighty then. Well, then I would have to ask you, dear players. Our plan at the time was to postpone the, and I had an in-story reason I was about to get to, postpone the battle royale until next session. We can amend that, or we can still wait till next session. I leave that in your hands.
I don't mind.
Let's just get done with. Let's just do it.
All right.
Do it.
All
All
right.
right.
So they currently they were asking where the third member is because Lucas has disappeared. No one knows where he is.
Who disappeared?
Lucas.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
both you and Talavac are already at the arena and are ready to
Come on,
get.
come
if
on,
I
Xavier.
recall
We
correctly.
got this. We got this.
Yeah.
Me and you, we got this.
Okay, you gotta honestly help me out here. Sorry, I'm out of character. I still just woke up. My eye's still hurting the hell out of me.
Sure.
I don't know if I can slip right into character really easy. So for the next like 50 minutes, I wouldn't mind just talking about my character rather than trying to slip into a really shitty in character situation.
Absolutely, that's fine. So, add a character, since everyone knows, it's only fair you know too. Lucas has slipped down to the lower levels. We don't know why yet, but the in character, the characters, they just kind of Lucas was there that night, maybe early in the morning, but no one knows where he is now. And it was time to go to the battle royale thing. So,
Yeah, okay.
so
I'm ready to go whenever they are,
Okay.
though.
yeah, so they would say, if you're the rules don't disqualify you, but you will be as long as you're fine with that. They will allow you in. They'll ask you, of course, what robot you choose, and they will get you set up for round one. You guys, I hope, are okay handling this more narratively. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to make a huge map or anything. Then they will give you a couple of ground rules for your benefit, which is they will quickly point out the very easy and intuitive targeting systems that have been made specifically for this contest. They say that while normally piloting a robot is much more complicated than this, we have simplified it otherwise because no one wants to see people flopping around on a floor trying to get a robot to take a step. So they have significantly eased the use of it. Which means that not only do you have the capability of using all the weapons that are at your robot's disposal, you can pilot it as normal. If you need to do anything special or difficult, you would then make an unskilled pilot check. But you're not gonna have to make pilot checks just to walk.
Right.
You can make called shots, but you don't have any bonuses to do so. So because normally if you're not skilled in it, you can't even make a called shot. But with
Correct.
the targeting systems and the simplified controls, you do have the ability to target specific areas.
Okay.
You just don't have any bonus to do so.
All right.
All right.
All right. And they will give me 1 second. Could someone, one of you two, roll me a D3, please?
Go ahead, Dave. Also,
okay.
out of curiosity, Squee, are we gonna face any sort of penalties because we have a 3-person to pilot vehicle and now we only have 2 people?
Let me think.
Or
about
maybe
that.
I shouldn't say penalty. Well, it could be penalties, but maybe complications or something. You know.
No, the vehicle you actually chose, and we could say that this is an interesting or a nice twist of fate. The vehicle you actually chose is designed for 2 people. That was revamped for 3. So that while you won't have the versatility, i.e., you won't be able to say fire all its guns in one turn.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, not being able to fire all the guns in one turn sounds like a complication that, makes sense due to the current situation. Yeah, I can get behind it.
So what we'll say is, well, actually, and we have to suggest this too. We have to figure out who's the pilot, and who's moving, working the shield, and who's using the weapons. And whoever's using the weapons, you can just choose which weapon system you want to fire
Okay.
each action.
Okay.
My suggestion is do someone with a pilot and shield and some person to deal with the weapons. What do you want to do, Dave? I really don't care.
If you want to fire the weapons, I'll move it.
What did I just say? I said, what do you want to do? Because I don't care.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to do, Dave?
I'll move it. I'll pilot it.
Okay,
All right.
so Dave's pilot in Inferno is the gunner. Did you roll me that D3, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on a second. I gotta take a look see because it. Okay, there we go. All right. D4 minus 1. Nice. All right then. You step up to your controls, and you see facing you on the other side of the arena is not the snooty kids from before, but one of the older groups of people looking not incredibly confident. But as your blocker starts to enter the arena, you see an NGV-34 Buffalo into the arena from their side. I'll throw in a picture of the robot there so that you can get an idea of what you're going up against. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna shoot you guys over here too. Let me move the players over real fast to your robot arena.
Yay!
Oh my god.
Super sophisticated. Actually, I don't. Well, I'll say this. If you have your PDF with your robots, it's the last robot on the PDF, the Buffalo. It's got 2 guns on the shoulders, 2 guns on the arms, and it looks like the head of Shockwave. But they step out, and they look a little unsure. Their feet, like the robot moves a little, sways a little this way, a little that way, and the announcer over the ring introduces both sides with names that you'll recall they never asked you if you wanted to be called anything, yet they have dubbed you the Eternals. And they say, in this corner, the Eternals! And there's cheering as your robot, without your control, actually lifts its arms up.
Sorry, Squee, did you say we were in the... Oh, they're in a Buffalo, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, because I'm like, we're not in the Buffalo, but okay, I'm following now. All right.
And then they say, and in this ring, the devastation. And the other robot raises its arms, and there's more cheering. And then the announcer says, this fight will continue until one robot or the other is unable to remain on its feet or continue combat in any way, shape, or form. Begin! If you guys will, let me open up the spreadsheet. I did forget to tell you. It's 3 actions per person per round.
Okay. Gotcha.
Since you are all unskilled.
Gotcha. I'm just bringing up the bot now.
All right. Let me. Ooh, wow. We haven't used the turn initiative in a while.
Yeah.
Let me get this going as fast as I can, guys.
Uh-huh.
Here, I'm just going to. If you guys could roll me initiative, if you would, please.
Okay. And that would be just a straight D20, I would take it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Give me a moment just to get into roll 20.
Sure. All right.
What?
Hmm?
Is this some sort of joke?
No. Why?
The picture?
Oh, well, it's sophisticated.
No, it's not. So it is a joke. I just
God
want to
damn
make
it, Squee.
sure. I'm like, what? Is there a giant cardboard thingy in the cupboard? Oh, I'm just giving you. I'm breaking your balls here.
Then Rooney.
But you're talking
Oh.
about the general layout of the arenas like that weird ass. It looks like a ping pong table.
It
Probably
does.
is a
It
ping pong
does.
table.
And the arena itself actually does look a bit like that because you while they are real sized robots, they are remote control, so they don't have a lot of obstacles or anything like that.
Okay.
And
All
it's
right.
not Inferno; it's Xavier. That's two completely different people.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Xavier isn't the one in misery right now. All right.
Yeah, you sound like you're struggling, my friend.
Whatever. Let's just do this.
All right, so give me 1 second. 10, 4, 4. All right. Da, 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 da.
Other guys.
All right, your initiatives were 9 and 12.
Yeah. Correctamundo.
Okay, I'll go ahead and.
You're quite the
Um,
trooper to do this, Inferno. I don't think I could.
Burn, can you do me a favor? I forgot how to sort. Darn it, Kitty! No, we're having battle royale. Leave me alone.
You know what they call battle royale in Europe?
With
Oh.
cheese.
Yeah, there you go. Battle royale with
With
cheese.
Does that mean you're gonna cheat? Is that
Well, if
you're
it
gonna
comes,
cheese it?
No, it means we're gonna take out a pistol and put it in your face and ask you how that big Kahuna burger's tasted.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Get some of that taste
It
I-
has
I-
been
I-
sorted.
Thank you, sir. I should ask before we get started, real quick. You're both. Oh, Talavek.
Yes,
The
sir.
shield you have, it offers you, as long as you have the shield facing the enemy and you make a conscious effort to hide behind it, it offers you 70% protection.
Yeah.
If you don't, like, let's say you're moving really fast or doing something like that, it offers you
Or
50%.
firing the quad lasers from that shield arm, right?
Exactly, right. So basically, what you're doing will depend on how much cover it gives you, but it can give you up to 70%.
Okay.
All right. So let's get started. Talavak, you are first, sir. You guys are about you're about 100 meters away from each other. So 300 feet.
300 feet. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, first thing I'm going to do is step forward and I'm like, so you want to give him a love tap from afar? Fire
Yeah.
off some missiles at him or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, is it my turn? It's my turn, right?
Not quite. Was that all you wanted to do, Talavak? You're just going to take a step and hold position?
Wait, how come Talavac? He rolled a. Wait, what's the Talavac roll?
12. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he rolled the 4, and I'm like, what?
Oh, those were the other guys.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, basically, I'm giving this turn to ask Xavier if he wants to shoot the
Got
missiles. Yeah.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So the other guys, the pilot begins to run straight towards you. He's not going to make it this round, but he starts dashing towards you and covers about 25 meters, give
I
or
got
take.
something for him. All right.
Xavier, it is now your turn.
All right, help me out here. Oh,
Mhm.
actually, wait a second. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you already just fucking gave me all the information I needed. Is it fair to say that the MDC buy locations that's listed for the NG Buffalo are areas in which I can fire my weapon?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now let's take out his weapons. I'm gonna fire a single mini missile so I can do an aim shot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I would like to fire. He has upper leg mini missile launchers on the side of his head, and a forearm plasma ejector. You know what? We can try to shoot out mini missiles. You can't shoot out a plasma ejector. I want to go for the. He has 2 plasma ejectors, so I want to go for first the one on his left hand, please.
Okay. You will actually be able to add 3 because mini missiles have their own targeting. So add 3 to that
Okay,
aim
so
shot.
roll 1d20 plus 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is very advantageous for us too. Then, all right, let's see.
All
Over
right.
12. Fuck
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you did. You got over 12. All right. What is he
Are you
going
sure I
to do?
can't use my hand-to-hand critical to hit chance for ranged missile robot combat?
No.
Run with the
Oh,
missile in your
damn.
hand at him, yeah.
Asshole GM.
Okay, so conceivably they could try and take a shot at the missile, but
Yeah.
these guys have never fired or piloted a robot before, so they're not going to take a shot at the missile. They're just going to be taking the hit.
Okay. Then I get to now. What kind of missiles are in there, homie?
Ooh, that's a good point. Armor piercing missiles. It's all armor piercing.
So that's 1d4 times 10.
Correct, sir.
Oh, we're gonna have to whack him a few times, but that's okay. 1d4 times 10. 10. Oh,
10
that's
points.
Okay.
All right.
I
so-
couldn't have got it in one hit anyway, so boom.
And you're
All
going
right.
for which arm was it?
Right arm.
Right arm. Got it. So okay. So right arm takes some scoring damage straight to the plasma
I love
ejector.
scoring damage. Scoring damage makes me hard. Okay.
All right.
Okay then.
I'm being facetious. I'm trying to get
I
him
know.
out of
You're
forcing
motivating
myself.
yourself. Yes. Oh.
I am forcing myself. All right.
All right. So the robot is still running at you. However, the weapons start taking their fire. So it fires twin particle beam turrets. It's going to do a dual blast, which is going to target your leg.
Okay.
So he has no bonus. He's going to be aiming for your leg. He has to roll a 12, not a d12, Squee. Come on. Come on now. And he misses. But he does have enough to hit your main body. Would either of you like to take an action? Actually, wait.
I
well,
don't have the shield.
right. I should ask first if you want to take an action before we roll for cover or not.
Okay. So you're gonna go ahead and just let me have it this time, or just let me have it?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, I'm asking you if you'd like to do something first, because based on that answer would determine your cover and a whole bunch of things. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you wanted to
Yeah, if
say,
you try to dodge out of the way, then you can't have your cover bonus because you're freaking
Right.
dodging out of the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If it's coming at me, I wanna slam the shield down.
okay, so you're gonna just try and take cover behind the shield. So
Yeah.
you know what? We'll go ahead and say that was your turn because you really didn't do much on your turn. So I think it's fair enough to say you'd have more than enough time to use your turn to get that 70% cover bonus.
All right, works for me.
So he has to get above a 70 to hit, and he does not. So your shield takes 2d4 times 10, 50 mega damage points of damage.
And I also get a reduction on that because of the shield.
No. Your shield takes that damage. Unless, wait, does the shield have a special property I'm unaware of?
It does. I think it takes half damage for all kinetic.
Special blocks.
Well, it's lasers, so it's not kinetic.
Oh, kinetic.
Oh, it's a
Yeah. So
laser.
that has to be like explodey or punchy.
Yeah,
Never
so
mind,
punchy or
never
bullets
mind.
or things like that. So lasers and
Punch.
plasma doesn't doesn't do much for it. So that's 50
Okay.
points. But I mean,
Yep.
your shield's got like 350 mega damage, so there.
All right, I
so
wrote it
that's
down.
his turn. The second person is going to fire off a volley of mini missiles from its shoulders.
Okay.
Let's see. It's going to fire off 6 mini missiles, armor piercing.
Oh.
So he's just going for the main body. He's not going for anything in particular because he can't. It's a volley.
Okay.
So I know I have control over the mini missile system, but is the pilot in control of any sort of defensive system, like the little laser turret on the top of its head?
No, at the moment.
Okay, so
because
in
of the way the
order
controls-
for us to shoot down these missiles, only I may act.
Correct. But Talavac can say do things with the shield or dodge or things
Or
like that.
maybe do hand-to-hand attacks.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I don't want us to get shot by 6 mini missiles in the fucking chest. All that do 1d4. So I'm gonna make a noble attempt. I'm not gonna fire an energy weapon in response. I am going to make a Wade response and shoot one of our missiles, only because it increases the percentile chance of exploding that entire fucking volley.
Mm-hmm.
So, aim called shot at the fucking shooting missiles that are at us. So what kind of penalty do I get?
Well, you still get the +3 for the mini missile, but I
Yeah.
believe hitting a missile. It's been a while, but I believe it's -5. We'll just go with that for now. I might be
Okay.
wrong. It's
Yeah,
been a long
you're the
time. but
DO.
Yeah, let's just run with it.
We'll just
So
say for this
-5
fight, they're
so
-5. Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
so a -2 total.
Okay. Ew, and I have to get over a 12 to hit it, right?
Yes, sir.
I
Oh.
forgot how hard it was. And I missed. Pew!
Well,
Alright, I tried.
hang on 1 second.
Whatever.
The bright side is you still have that 70% cover because Talavac hasn't moved. So of the 6 mini missiles, because you still have the shield.
I
in
know,
between.
I know, I know.
yeah.
I forgot about that. I could save my fucking missile. Whatever.
So we're going to. I'm just going to very quickly roll 6 D100s, and if any of them make over 70%, they will hit the main body. 1, 2. What? What just happened? What just happened?
Wait. They're fired as a burst, though, Squee. So you really
Oh,
only
yeah,
should
yeah,
make
yeah,
one
yeah.
roll.
Okay, so I made one roll. Thank you. Made one roll. It didn't hit. So
Shield.
it hit the shield, which
Okay.
is going to be 6d4 times 10.
Could obliterate this shield.
160 mega damage. No, so you're still at you have 190 damage done to the shield.
No, wait, aren't those armor piercing?
Oh, those are kinetic though. Those are kinetic. So
Yes.
I'm
yes.
sorry. So not 160. You're looking at 80 mega damage to that shield.
Okay. All right.
All right. Lessons
right.
learned. Get the cobwebs out.
Talavac, your turn, sir.
Okay. All right. So he's still a good distance away. He's well, of course he is. He's firing missiles. I'm a dork.
Mhm.
Okay. So I want to ask Mr. Xavier to respond in kind and launch a volley of our missiles, if he would like to.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you staying kind of in position behind the shield?
Yeah. Right now, I can't do anything much until basically what I want to do is just fire a volley of missiles.
Got it.
Basically say screw you, and then I'm gonna try to move in. But that will.
Okay.
we'll do
So
that
do you guys
later.
want to do a parrot action?
We'll have to because the chest mini missile launchers. If the shield's protecting our body, I can't fire the mini missile launchers. So you should let me fire and then approach. Well, but then if it's simultaneous, you can't do that. So you're gonna have to decide what you want to do, Mr. Talavac, because they're chest mini missile launchers, right?
Yeah,
You can't cover the chest and have them fire.
If you want Talavac, you can also kind of wait and go after Xavier. You can do that too. However, the robot's going to get to move first. You know what I mean? The pilot's going to be able to act if you do that.
Okay. If five of the missiles, I got to move the shield. I'll do it. I just want to do that. You know,
Okay, so you're gonna move the shield.
I'm
Got
gonna
it.
move the shield.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. The pilot of the other robot is still running straight for you. He's about 25 meters out now. So really, for robots, really close.
Yeah, this is the last shot before hand to hand. So.
Huh.
Xavier, you have one action left in this round.
I want to blow out his leg, but you can't do that in with a burst shot with missiles.
Mm,
And I don't know if one's gonna be enough to stop him. So let me just double check. Is it 4? Most volleys? Yeah. Volleys one at a time, or volleys of 2 or 4. Man, they even out volley us. Give me a moment here. He moved the shield. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna fire the missiles. We do a lot more damage and we're a lot more effective now that the shield arm isn't in position right now. For me to fire a quad blast, which does 1d6 times 10 plus 8. And I can still do that as an aim shot because they're 4 separate shots, you know what I mean? Like it's not like one gun making a burst shot. It's 4 guns synced up at the same target.
Exactly. So you can still make
So
an
I
aim
can
shot.
make an aim shot. Whereas the best damage I could do with an aim shot with a missile launcher is 1d4 times 10, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Give me another moment here.
Surprise me, Xavier.
Yeah.
And them, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. I think I know. He wants to go into a hand-to-hand. I want to shoot him in its right hand. I might be able to blow off that hand of his.
All right. Roll me an aimed shot, sir.
Okay.
Called shot, get 12 or higher.
No bonus though, right?
Correct. No bonus.
All right, let's see what. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You hit it.
Good boy.
What's the?
Shit, good luck dodging that, asshole. And that's the other thing too. He
Yeah.
couldn't shoot down the missile even if he wanted to, even after he saw my attempt.
Exactly. Well, it's a plasma. You can't shoot down plasma. I think one of them. No, they're not going to do anything. I mean, they could simultaneously attack, but yeah, actually, they'll do that. Guy 2 is going to simultaneously attack with the twin particle turrets.
Oh.
So he
Wait,
is going...
I cheated. Wait.
Oh.
I cheated. I didn't read this note that said both arms cannot be linked to fire simultaneously at the same time. Then why did it give me stats for a quadruple blast?
No, you're fine because there's 4 on each arm. It's telling you can't fire all 8 at once. There's 4 on each arm. Even in the picture, you'll see. So you're fine. The left arm can fire a quad. The right arm can fire a quad.
There are 4 on them. Okay,
they just can't fire them together because I understand 8 would probably be too much.
Yeah.
So you're good. You did not cheat.
Okay. All right.
So this guy is going to fire his twin particle beam turrets at your exposed shield arm.
Okay.
Since the shield is now off to the side. So he's going to do a simultaneous attack. He's doing a called shot. But he has no bonus. So he succeeds. All right. So if you would please roll damage for me, Inferno.
All right. Fuck your stupid. Not you, Squee. I'm trying to make this a robot. Fuck you, your stupid hand. 1d6 times 10 plus 8. 48 points of damage.
Nice.
So 48. Let's see here.
Points of mega
To
damage
his
to its
hand.
stupid hand. Right hand. So that's the same arm that has the
plasma ejectors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He takes some significant. There starts to be some melting around where the hand region is, and he's going to fire his dual turrets at your arm, doing 60 mega damage to the arm itself.
Okay.
All right. And the other guy.
Are you recording the damage that we're being taken, Dave?
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I just kind of assumed. Maybe I shouldn't have, but good. I'm glad that I assumed well.
No, it's our no. It's typically yes. The players that own the robotic vehicles should be in charge of, keeping track of the damage, right?
And everything that gets hit, I'll just make a new category. That's all. So, all right.
All right. The guy number 2 is going to. He is also going to launch an aimed mini missile at the arm. So it's just one, but it does get a +3. And succeeds. Talavac, you do have an action. You could try to do something if you'd like a simultaneous attack, a dodge, etc.
All right. Well, he
Oh,
has
I don't have actions.
Yeah, he has a bonus to that, but I don't have a bonus to parry. So my chances are
Well,
slim.
you can't parry a missile. So
Well, you know what I mean. Block, hold it up, and let the shield take it. But it's
well,
still
if
considered...
you used a simultaneous attack, then I would
Uh-huh.
let you reposition to maybe get the shield in the way, but it would take up your action to do so.
4 damage. I'll go for the Simo. I'll go for the Simo.
Okay, so you're gonna try and get the shield in the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let me roll and see if he can get past your cover, which he can't, barely. You get the shield in place just in time.
Okay.
And the shield takes 5 points of mega damage.
That's more like it. Okay.
And that expends your turn.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So the pilot runs up to you guys within hand-to-hand combat and makes a grab with both hands on the shield itself. He's trying to grab the shield.
Oh, okay.
Shield.
He's going to basically kind of roll to strike it. He succeeds. So he has the shield clasped in both hands right now.
Okay.
And that's how that is. And then the other guys, the other guys, are going to unleash their weapons directly into your main bodies. They're a little too close to be targeting like your legs because they're right up, literally like almost kissing. So dual turrets firing, that's enough to hit. You guys don't have any actions, so that is just 2d4. Your main body takes 40 points of mega damage.
Okay.
And he's unleashing a volley of 6 mini missiles.
How many mini missiles does this guy have?
Uh,
Don't answer that.
yes.
It's a rhetorical question. I'm
Way
I'm
too
too
many.
busy to keep track.
Yes.
I
Way
do
too
have a
many.
question really quickly.
Mhm.
You are taking into consideration,
No.
or they are taking into consideration that mini
I'm
missiles
waiting.
are like explosive, right? So there might
Yes.
be backlash since they're in melee.
Yeah,
yes.
if they're up
Yeah.
close and they're almost kissing, they might get some splash damage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that,
I'm gonna give
I
it a
just wanted to
decent
say
chance.
that.
No, I was thinking about that. I'm gonna give it. So they're armor piercing, so they're not quite as big as say plasma, but yes, there will be a chance of splash damage. Because yes, they are. If they're close enough to hold your shield, they are in the danger zone, so to speak.
Call Kenny
So,
Loggins.
he rolls the burst. That's enough to hit. I'm going to give it a 50-50 shot that they're going to receive some damage from this too. Nope, they will not receive any damage from it.
Okay.
Get them.
And it's going to be straight to the body. 190 points of mega damage.
Ooh, no.
Well, they can. Well, with all due respect, I mean, we are being a little outclassed because they have 3 actions. They have 3 people to do actions. We have 2.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are we gonna do, right?
Yeah.
All right. A new round.
Wait a second, Squee.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be that guy, but you had at one time a guy do a simultaneous attack to when I tried to shoot for its hand, right?
Right.
And each round, when it was their turn, all three of them got to take an action, didn't they?
No, because his first action was his simultaneous attack. He's fired the twin turret 3 times. Once
Okay.
at you when you attacked him, once at the shield arm, and then once at your main body.
All right, I'll trust you. Yeah.
All right. But no, I don't mind. Double checking me is always a good thing. We have learned from experience. All right. So Talavac, it is your turn, sir. Your shield is contested.
Okay. I am going to kick him square in the chest and try to dislodge him from the shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What we're gonna do is do your attack first.
Okay. Oh my god.
So you fail.
All right.
You whiff it.
You try and bring you had the best intentions, but robot piloting not your skill. Your leg just kind of misses it completely. It's like the guy at the UFC when they're locked up and he tries to knee him and the knee just completely misses.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. The pilot is going to try and rip the shield from your hands. Now, here's the deal, Talavac. Your robot has more strength than his robot, so you're going to do an opposed strength check.
Okay.
Now, your arm has some damage, but so does one of his hands, so I'm going to say that negates each other out. You have 5 more points of strength than he does, so to keep this simple, I'm just going to give you an opposed strength check, but you get +5, he does not.
Okie doke.
So he is rolling. So just roll me a d20 +5, please. And beat. Holy crap!
I don't think we're destined to win this.
Well, I don't know. That was a hell of a nice roll from Talavac.
Oh, that was Talavac's roll. Sorry.
That was my roll.
The robot strains as it tries to twist and turn the shield away, but the shield doesn't budge at all. It's as if he's trying to move a statue. And
That's right,
basically,
sucker.
you hear just like the squealing of gears. That's his turn. Xavier, it's your turn, sir.
Okay. It's gonna be hard since he's so close, so bring up an arm to fire. I can't fire the missile launchers, but thank God for the people who designed this at good old Northern Gun, because there's a little snub-nosed laser turret on my head, or on the robot's head, not on my head. My head doesn't have a
Very
laser.
fashionable.
I wish it did. I want to take that little pew-pew laser and shoot it in its stupid pew-pew hand.
All right.
Single hand. All right. Same thing. Dome bonuses, cold shot, 2-hand. What penalties do I have? I must have some.
No, you don't have any bonuses.
Okay.
Oh,
Yay!
my
Why not
God.
take that? Even if you did say I had penalties, I win.
All right,
Oh
then.
my god.
Well,
Goodbye, you stupid hand.
yeah, roll me either your choice, sir, because he's not gonna take an
I'm
action
gonna
to
roll
try.
12d6.
Okay, then.
Yay!
46. All right, and he's already taken. Let's see here.
40 or something like that.
Yeah. You blow his hand off.
Good luck
Clean
holding
off.
on to our shield with that no hand, you ass face.
His hand is completely.
Wow, me and
removed.
Talavac rolled 2 20s in a row.
I know.
Someone's like blowing karma right now. I appreciate it. Is it you? Is it you, Piph?
I've been pretty active.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I will try and get to you guys soon. So the other guys, let's see here. Give me a second, actually. Let me roll something real quick.
Have them run away crying.
No, they're able to compensate for the loss of the hand in the immediate term.
My robot's never gonna be able to relieve itself ever again.
Never, ever. His
No.
piano playing days are done. So your shield is now free, Talavac. Because the other hand would have slipped off when the first one was blown off. And the guy with the turret is going to, again, he's going to take a called shot right for the shield arm.
Okay.
And why am I doing that? Let's just do this. Needs to get a 12. He fails. He fails completely. He completely misses. Maybe they're a bit more rattled than you thought.
I think
Because
so.
the dual turret blast completely misses you. And the other guy.
I like a dual fail blast.
Oh, all right. He is starting to be a little bit conservative.
Well,
Let's see.
like he's gonna want greater tax cuts and smaller government.
No, actually, he's not going to be conservative. He's going to fire off another volley of 6 missiles.
Oh, so you're saying he's being very liberal with his. Missiles.
Damn it. Yes. Well done, sir. That is touche. This is going to be obviously just straight towards your main body.
Like this on the sideline mini missile. Lol. This is what happens when you fire liberal mini missiles. Not to say there's anything wrong with liberalism, but instead of putting armor-piercing warheads, instead they put food stamps in the tip. So that's not going to hurt us. We're immune to food stamps.
You like that, don't you?
So, unfortunately, since he didn't hit you at all, there's no chance of him getting hit either. The missiles literally just rocket off into different directions, crashing into the invisible force field to the audience's appeasing roar.
I can see us both looking at the volley going over us and then looking back at each other.
90 people die in the following liberal explosion.
So apparently blowing off their hand has rattled them quite a bit.
It would rattle me pretty bad.
Yeah,
Just gonna say.
Talavac, it's
No,
your
not a
turn,
robot.
sir.
Okay. So my shield is free, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna smash him across the fucking face with my shield.
All right. So you're doing a called shot with the shield.
Yep.
Give me 1 second.
Uh-huh.
I know there's this couple of like special. I think it's just special damage, but I want to make sure it's not actual special rules for it. No, it's just damage. So it counts just like. So what are you doing? Are you doing like a normal strike, a two-handed shield power punch? What are you doing?
Just a one-handed backhand swing. Pow! Right across the
Okay,
chest.
so just
Yeah.
normal shield strike. Got it.
Yeah.
To his face.
Bam, boom,
Okay.
straight to the moon.
Mhm.
Do my hand-to-hand apply to that?
No.
No. Okay. Just checking.
No. Yeah, you're playing with joysticks right now. But you
Okay.
hit his face.
Besides, that's not even how robot combat works. If you had robot combat basic or elite, then you get like hand-to-hand whatevers
Mhm.
bonuses. But yeah.
If you would, sir, please roll 2d6 plus 6 to the face.
Hold on just a second here. Let me get them set up. 6 plus 6, right to the kisser. 15.
Okay, 15 points of mega damage straight to the head of the robot.
Mhm.
It is rocked back a step, like its face like kind of rocks back and it takes a step backwards.
Bitch.
All right. Okay. The pilot. Oh crap! What's the pilot gonna do? Pilot is gonna back off. Pilot's like this.
Oh,
was a
now
bad
he wants
idea.
to play
No.
shooty. Now he has no hand.
Pilot backs off. They backpedals about 20 feet. Xavier, your turn, sir.
I'm gonna shoot its head with their quad laser now on the other free arm. I want to shoot it in its stupid face.
All right.
Just a straight D20 roll, right? Get over 12.
Yes, sir.
Give me another 20. No.
Oh well.
Wait.
Passes
Oh no,
over.
it has to get over 5 to at least hit
Yeah.
the main body. Oh, now my lasers go where the missiles went into heaven.
All right. So as they're backing off, guy number 2 is going to fire his quad lasers at. He's going to
He
be
has
aiming
quad
for that
laser?
shield arm. Not quad lasers. Sorry, dual lasers.
Yeah,
forget
I
my
got
words.
patented on quad.
He's shooting at the shield arm. He hits just barely. Do you want to take a? Well, Talavac, I guess this would mainly apply to you. Do you want to take an action?
Yeah, I could
No.
take a simultaneous attack too. and
You
prevent-
could.
Well,
You could.
yeah.
certainly.
although they haven't been trying to defend anyway, so I think it's a waste of time.
Mm.
Okay, so he fired an energy weapon at my shield arm.
Which has already taken a decent amount of damage.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a shield block.
Blocking it with the shield. All right.
Yes,
so
sir.
you'll do a simultaneous attack. We'll say you
Yep.
get it in the way.
Okay.
Easy enough. So he's going to roll the 2d4 times 10 to the shield. 60 points of mega damage to the shield.
Okay, it's looking a little worse for wear, but we're still up.
All right.
It's the shield's 4.
Yeah.
So the mini missile guy, he is going to actually fire his last volley from his legs of mini missiles at your shield.
Okay.
Now it's my turn to make a defensive action. I'm gonna shoot a little mini missile and prevent that shit from happening.
So he doesn't. So here's the weird part. He made a called shot, so he's actually going to hit your main body, though the shield's in the way, so we'll still say cover counts. Like the way I looked at
Can
it is
you
if
not
he
hear
hit.
me?
Yeah, oh, I can. You're gonna. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Inferno. I didn't acknowledge you, but I did hear.
Okay,
But I should have acknowledged. Sorry.
that's fine.
The way I was looking at that is if you got a 12, it would automatically have hit the shield, but he still has the chance of hitting it anyway because you're hiding behind it. And
Who'da
he
thought?
definitely does hit it, unless Xavier would like to intervene.
Mm.
I do. I'm gonna shoot
Mhm.
its missile with a single missile of ours.
Okay.
Kapow! Oh, for
Oh!
fuck's sakes. Who stopped giving Karma the blowjob? You get back in there.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, dude. Take a deep breath. Take one for
Yep.
the team. It's not that bad.
65 mega damage to your shield. What's your shield looking like right now?
Dangling.
Does
Wait.
it have any mega damage left?
When I say dangling, it has about 60 MDC left.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That is their turn. All right. It's Talavac. Your turn again, sir.
Okay.
Make it count. I don't have any more actions this turn.
Okay.
To let you know what your options are, you are within closable range of them. Since they're moving backwards and you would be moving forwards, you can move up to them, catch up to them. So you could move up to them and say take an action if you wanted, or you can do whatever you want. I'm just letting you know you have your options.
Shield bash. Right in the face again.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to. Well, let me be sure I'm clear. So to do a shield bash to the face, you're going to have to run towards them, which is fine, and kind of like leap into them. Is that what you have in mind? Like leap up into their face?
If they're in that particular range, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm
Uh-huh.
going to have you do a piloting check.
Okay.
Give me. Well, actually, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here.
Okay,
Let me be
okay.
sure of this because your height is 22 feet. Their height is 25 feet. No, you know what? That's
You're
close
already
enough. You're
Yeah,
not gonna,
I mean, they can. We can. I'm pretty sure our robot arms can extend to 3
Yes.
feet above us.
Yes. So do the shield bash, sir, please. I take it you're doing just the normal. Hang on, the normal shield bash. Let me read
Oh, man,
this.
there's a
Normal body
shield
block with
bash.
shield.
Oh, there we go. All right, normal.
It's
body block with shield.
a running bash, basically. You know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, you want to knock him down? I see.
Yeah.
I will say this: you can do that, but it's going to take your first action from next turn.
Fine.
Oh, because
okay.
it takes 2 actions, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right
Worth
then.
it though.
Yes.
Okay.
Worth the attempt.
Straight D20.
That is enough to hit them. It's not enough to hit their face, but it is enough to hit their main body, which still has the added effect of a chance to knock them down, a very high chance to knock them down. So could you do 4d6 plus 8 mega damage to me, please? To me,
Okay.
not to
To
me.
you.
Not to me.
You stay there in Texas. I can grab my mega damage fist.
I'm gonna drop a giant shield on you. Give me a sec.
You know what's sad is that technically mega damage does exist in our world. It just explains, giant crushing or explosive damage. So like
Mhm.
being shot with a bazooka is like mega damage. Being crushed by a tank is mega damage. So you got a lot of
intents and
options to get
purposes,
mega
yeah.
damage on you.
That's true.
All right. 28.
So you hit it for 28 mega points of damage to its main body, and it falls over like a rock. You basically knock into it. The way I look at it is you run into it, and when you connect with it, your momentum stops and his begins.
Yay.
And he falls.
And now
He flies back about 3-4 feet on his flat on his back with his arms
Now they
straight
will
out to the
learn
sides.
from Robo Pain. I hope the judges are appreciating our Olympic event here.
All right,
Yep.
so there's that. Pilot has to make a piloting check because getting up is hard when you don't know how to pilot.
And you don't have a hand.
That is
Yeah.
very true. I'm going to make this an even harder roll for nope.
Fuck you.
Robot. Okay, if you take a look at the picture, it's actually a fairly accurate representation at the moment.
LOL. This is all
He
planned.
tries to get up, but he cannot.
Wait, I'm
Um,
confused. Is the black robot the referee?
No, I would say in this instance, the black robot is you. The referee.
Then
is
who
not
the
you.
shit is this asshole?
That's actually the lady robot that holds up the scorecard and walks around the ring.
Can we
That'll
get
work.
her robot number after the robot left?
Right now, we got a curve.
Her
stomp this
number
asshole,
is
okay?
1001001.
Oh, fuck you.
Give me a second. Give me a second here.
Uh-huh.
So these two guys, the gunners are on the ground. While theoretically you could shoot from the ground at a penalty, I'm going to give them I have to make them make a skill check because that sounds like something that would take skill to be able to do. You're not used to firing from on your back. So
The angles might be really
nope.
messed up and all sorts
nope.
of stuff. Yeah.
So they aren't even able to fire at you as the robot flops on the ground. Televac. You actually only have 2 actions, but it's your turn.
Okay. I don't want to get over him because he does still have his forward-facing weapons. But I would kindly ask Mr. Xavier if he would like to commit shooting him in the face.
Commence face shoot, Mr. Xavier. But you're not going to have the robot physically do anything right now, so you're kind of saving your actions for a little bit later on, like a defensive move or something?
Yeah, because right now he's at a disadvantage. If I would get over him, he could fire.
That's true. That's
we
true.
don't want to give him that opportunity. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Well, speaking of pilot, nope. Pilot almost gets up and then tries to put his hand without the hand down and doesn't and slips back to the ground.
We're going to gun him down like he's in the street mob, like it's a mob in the street. And pow, pow, pow.
God, I never stopped to consider how horrible a position this would be for people who can't pilot well. Xavier, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go the slightly safer route. I am gonna play more conservative, but instead of less taxes and less big government,
Mhm.
I decide to go with a single, discreet missile to the face.
Okay,
So I
well,
can get that
pro
sexy
firearms, that's
+3 shot.
Pro firearms is definitely conservative.
Well, it's really just getting a bonus, taking
Right.
things very, very carefully, like maybe like centuries of discussion, like a certain church. That's pretty conservative. All right. Yeah, and it pays off.
Hit
Woo, here's the dogma of rocket, motherfucker.
to
All
its
right.
face, you said?
Yes, to its face.
To its face. All right.
In its face. 1d4.
Yeah!
Mom, in its face.
Okay. The helmet is starting to get a large amount of scoring on it. Give me a second. Let me read these asterisks. Okay, that's just the regular asterisk. Got it. All right. Guys, can you fire? Can you? Nope. Yes. The mini missile guy can manage to
But isn't he
fire
out of missiles? You said final volley.
from his legs.
How many other places does this motherfucker have missiles?
I forgot about my armpits.
So the thing about this robot is it's got 24 missiles on its legs and has 8 missiles on its shoulders.
Oh, that's not so bad, man.
So, was I right?
Kind
Also,
of.
don't forget the 8 tubes, each with 50 missiles along its chest.
And the one in its anal cavity. All right, anyway.
Yeah. It's
Now, out of
vestigial
curiosity,
sublingual
what's
asshole.
I'm assuming the volley. Yeah, that's what this blue. I'm assuming the volleys for that shoulder one might not be the same as the leg one, right?
Correct.
Could be wrong.
And actually, wait, Burn, he doesn't have any more mini missiles on his chest. He has shoulders, legs. Oh.
This is what's called a joke,
shoulders.
Squee. Welcome.
Oh, I'm so okay. I'm sorry. I will say this. I'm reversing it. The shoulders is the one he's been firing. It's the legs that he's firing. Well, you know what? Never mind. I said it. I'm sticking with it.
Whatever.
I said he's firing a volley of 4.
He's almost out of missiles.
Yeah.
Yes, he's almost out of missiles. That's the important thing to focus on. He's aiming this. Oh God, this is basically a wild shot. He barely was able to fire. He's not going to be able to aim too.
Right.
A volley of 4 missiles. Oh, it's a volley. He can't even aim. What am I talking about? 14 is enough to hit. Actions.
I don't want missiles in their stupid faces, and these guys are pretty weak. I'm going to use an action.
Mhm.
It's noble. It's a single missile, 1d20 plus 3. I think
Mhm.
better than getting a bunch of missile.
Well,
I have to say, this match is really playing out like a bunch of novices because you're getting some amazing hits.
Fuck you,
out of the
GM.
blue.
It's easy for you to judge because you're God, but we're trying. God
Hey,
damn it!
I am
damn
being
it.
fair. Hey, I am being fair. They are derping absolutely harder than you. So.
I'm
And-
joking.
and-
Spoiler
was-
alert, because
yeah.
we are amateurs.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be 4 to the main body.
No.
Televac.
I'm gonna argue that we're more amateurs than our opponents
Mm.
because amateurs don't show up to the match when they said they would. Looks at Lucas.
You can't see Lucas.
I'm sending a telepathic message right now.
All right,
Fuck you.
Televac.
Sir.
Are you using any sort of? Well, no, you couldn't. You couldn't use
No.
shield because Xavier fired. So we'll still say the shield will give you a small amount of cover. We'll say it'll still give you like a 20% chance of cover because you pretty much have to move out of the way to fire a missile. But still, it's still a shield, and you still have it. And they went right past it. All right.
Yeah.
So 100 points of mega damage to your body, sir.
I'm still in the game. Still in the game. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's your turn.
It's almost out of missiles. The whore. But who's your turn, Telvac?
Yes, sorry. Yes, Talavac.
I'm just standing back and I'm letting the weapons man I'm letting the weapons man do it. Like if
Oh.
we got him on the ropes. Well, not on the ropes, but on the floor. But anyway,
Right.
we're just gonna shoot him while he's down. Sounds good, right?
Got it. All right. Give me 1 second here.
Time's
up. Ooh. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was like, that's a good roll until you add penalties for no hand and no skill. You know what?
Not being skilled.
Yeah. Okay. So
No, we're on the ground.
here's what happens. After his 3rd or 4th failed attempt of getting up, the pilot on the other side throws up his hands in frustration. And you hear from all the way across the arena, fuck this, I can't do it.
So you forfeit.
And the officials on the other side of the arena converse with them, and there's a lot of angry gesturing and a lot of looks like profanity. It's hard to tell from this distance. After a brief moment, the announcer comes on and says, the Devastation have forfeited the match due to inability to stand back up. Winners, the Eternals! And the crowd cheers wildly in the very entertaining match. And the officials come up to you and they say, very well done, very nicely done.
Thank you. I would like that Lady Robot's number to celebrate. Maybe she'll go for coffee with me. You know, maybe she's a giant robot slut. I'm willing to take that chance.
Oh, so they step up to us in our control booth, basically.
Exactly. In your
Okay.
yeah, they've been in the control booth the whole time, making sure
Okay.
there were no shenanigans because people can do all kinds of things.
Shenanigans.
And they begin to tell you that of course it will be some time before your next match comes up, and outside you guys are hearing this. And now we'll hear a word from one of our new sponsors. And a very large screen comes down, like one of those screens that has screens on four sides.
Titantron.
I'm not gonna lie. For at one point, because I know there's Cypher 6 and the Corsairs. For just a split second, I'm thinking the message will be man-eater. Be like, "Hello, children." Bunch of kids.
That's really
you
morbid.
Come to Man-Eater's school for special tots. Or our prices will devour you, but not your wallet. All right, I'm done.
So the screen comes down, and on the screen appears a face that Talavac Xavier, you might find this familiar. It is the face of a Katani warrior. However, this face has very large burn scarring on it, on the left side of the face. So his entire left side of face is nothing but a mass of burn scars. Despite that,
I'm gonna call him blisters.
with a rather eloquent voice, he says, "Hello, I am Inquisitor Piph. I serve the Splagorth High Lord Jarnulth. We are searching for this ship." And on the screen pops up a picture of the Starluck before its makeover.
Go for me.
And then the Katani's face shows back up on the screen. These criminals are wanted for high treason, murder, and theft. We have a great interest in finding them and bringing them to justice. And as such, we have tracked their ship's last known location to here on Center, where our trail has, unfortunately for the moment, stopped. A large contingent of Splagorth forces will soon be in your area and Center, hunting these murderous criminals down. This advertisement is to let you know that there is a bounty of 1 million credits per head of these 6 individuals. I'm sorry, these 4, 5, 6. Yes, these 6 individuals. Sorry. He says, of these 6 individuals. And what you see are rather badly, crudely concept artist sketches. One of what might be Isaac. It kind of has a cowboy hat, and he's tall, but there's really not a very detailed description. One that it looks like an average human. I do have to ask for a second, Inferno, if you remember the face you wore back on the
For the hunt, I'm pretty sure I was the Phil Buckley face. Pretty sure. Pretty sure
I think
it's the
so.
Phil Buckley.
A picture that kind of has the same nose as Phil Buckley, but it's not an incredibly good sketch. A picture of a rather good representation of Talavac's race, if not himself. But a decent picture of his reptilian race. A picture of a woman with large pigtails. A picture of a man who might look like Seamus. And a picture of a man in a very gaudy, colorful.
Remember what I was wearing at that time?
Oh, no. What were you wearing?
I was wearing the ninja suit.
Yeah, oh god, and a picture of a ninja.
They're never gonna find us.
The Kitani gets back on and he says, "I understand that this is not a incredibly accurate description of them, but we believe that money is a great motivator. If you have any information, please contact," and the number appears on the screen. "Thank you, and have a nice day." And then the monitors blank out.
555 Sploogies for life.
Sploogies for life. And with that,
555. It's really not a vestigial asshole. I mean, why do you guys?
Actually, since it's Sploogies, it'd be Sploogies for death.
Yes.
and
Sploogies for slaves.
The arena erupts in clamor and conversation to the point where it almost gets to a fervor. And a short time after, the announcer gets on and says, ladies and gentlemen, please, one of you has knocked out one of our seat lighting, and unfortunately it will take some time to fix, so the matches have been delayed for 2 days. We apologize for this, but it was your own doing. And then the announcer clicks off.
And the entire crowd goes, "Oh,
It's all your fault. It's all
your fault. Shame.
No one ever accused the Naruni of being the best customer service.
Yeah.
The officials in your booth apologize for the delay and ask you to return in 2 days' time to go on to the finals.
Okay.
Sure.
Congratulations.
We'll have a third person by then. He's not feeling very well."
Oh, he
If your
won't be.
mother's, then he won't feel very well when I
And he won't.
put hands on him.
And with that, I would like to see what Lucas is up to, because you have been incredibly patient, sir.
Lucas is going around on the 8th floor, searching generally manually in the shadows. Is this her name, Sarah?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yes.
No, you're slinking around
Um,
the shadows looking for Sarah in a ninja costume.
Basically.
Okay.
He put on
he-
the ninja costume again?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is not good.
No.
Good thing he's in the shadows.
Yeah.
In the friggin' war
Yeah,
area.
you missed it at the very beginning. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put on my ninja outfit, and then I'm going to sneak away." Wait, are you really sneaking? Or yes, I am sneaking away.
Oh, Lucas. What the hell's the matter with you?
After probably an hour of search, if that ever comes up fruitful, I guess I question that. It's huge, I know.
Yes. So, okay, do you have any skills like Streetwise?
I do not have Streetwise. Let me triple check this. No, I
Wise
do
to
not.
the streets, yo.
Okay. Could you roll me a D100, please? Your searching is rather fruitless. You do find a plethora of homeless people in the alleys that you are slinking through.
Cool.
Said no one ever until now.
But that's about it.
After that of just him getting generally, like, still figuring out exactly what he's doing, he's then actually going to go, you know what? I have a better idea. It actually changes out of that particular costume. Let's see exactly which one that he wants to get back. You know what? He's just going to do his classic Lucas clothes for this. And actually going to come out on the street and do what he usually does best. Try to con some people out of their money. So what he's going
That's
to
what
do
you
is
do best. I'm impressed.
sort of. Here you go. Come one, come all. If you want to race, then I'm your guy.
Oh, that's right. I remember when we first met you and you did that friggin' shooting contest or whatever, and you're like, "Whatcha?" Whatever.
Mhm.
Come up and try to win 100 credits. That's right, 100 credits.
All right. First off, let me give me a brief second to describe to you kind of the setting where you're at.
Mhm.
So the residential district, levels 5 through 8 are typically the residential district, and they get lower economy, lower income bracket the lower you go. Where level 8 is very reminiscent of the picture you see on center. There are houses, but they are generally poorly kept. Many of the things around here are more canvas tents that are designed to be a permanent structure. And even the richest part of town that you slunk through looks like, well, it looks like a government project, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
The people you see are typically very dirty, very huddled. They don't look at each other very much. They typically go about their business. There's not a lot of conversation on the streets, with the exception of people hawking their wares, which, by the way they are selling them, may not be like they're selling them out of car trunks, basically.
I see.
There are a few places of note that stand out. A grocery store that seems to be rather well maintained and well kept. It does look, as you slink by it at one point, it is guarded by what look to be hired mercenaries. And there is a line of people that go to and from the grocery store. There is a very fancy building with neon lights on it that says the Rinko. That does seem to have a fair amount of people coming in from it, but it's kind of hard to tell from the outside what this building even is or what it does. But for the rest of the time, most of the time, you are surrounded by not destitution, but certainly poverty. When you give your call out and you give the 100 credits, do you have any sort of charm or trust type of
Yes.
ability roll modifiers? Choose one of those, please. And then roll it. That's important.
I choose that one. This is my trust. I succeed by 41.
Okay. At the mention of the money, some people look up and one street urchin looks to come up to about your waist. Looks rather childlike. It's not a human. It's a DB of some kind. He has smooth yellow skin with no hair whatsoever, and his eyes actually blink horizontally or instead of vertically.
Okay.
So they close horizontally. He doesn't seem to have a nose of any kind or any antennas, and he only has 3 fingers. But he does seem to be rather long in limb. His legs and arms seem disproportionately large for the rest of his body. And he comes up to you and he says, "Do you mean it? 100 credits for real?"
He's gonna bend down and go, yeah, actually, this might actually be better. Instead of actually trying to win it from me, I just need a little bit of information. I'm looking for a lady named Sarah. Lives in this fairly large area. I'll tell you what, if we find her, you can get the $100 without needing to trace me for it. And gotta say, I'm pretty fast. Unless you really want to try, and I don't. If I win, you might have to do it for only 50 credits.
His eyes widen and he says, "Okay, okay, yeah, we can find anyone." And then he gives like this little chortle, and more street urchins kind of come out of the woodworks, and they all seem very young. Some of them are human. There's a wolfen mixed in there. There's a few DBs that you may or may not have seen before. They all look rather dirty, and they all look very young. The humans and the wolfen are certainly not adults, and the others, it's sometimes hard to tell, but they seem to be very young of age. And they gather around, and the yellow individual says, he says that if we find someone, he'll give us all 100 credits. And the 10 or so people start jumping up and down, and they say, who do you want to find? Who do you want to find?
Now I'm going to have to see her to make sure that is her. I don't have too much to go on, but a lady named Sarah, she usually works off of this place, usually goes to works at a resort. Can you find this Sarah for me?
Piph, I know you just did, but could you roll me a D100 and just choose high or low?
As Piph is rolling all that, I just want to put on the record that a little kid-sized wolfen sounds adorable.
I know, doesn't it?
It is a little.
Little baby pie.
I choose. I'm gonna choose high.
That sounded like a very wow, well done, sir. I was gonna say, man, you really thought that one through. All right. Is it safe to say that Lucas would describe? I know you don't remember her too much.
Yes.
She's got short brown hair, but you would describe her basic physical.
Yeah, like height, hair color, eye color,
Got it.
gender.
She had
Human.
short blonde hair. I'm forgetting my own NPC's hair color. They would talk, like they put their heads together and they Sarah, wait, Sarah, you don't mean Sarah as in girl, but behaves more like a boy?
Yes. Burps
Check your
loudly at
privilege,
meals.
child.
Pronoun zir.
Yes. Doesn't afraid to speak her mind. Burps loudly at meals.
At the burps loudly, they begin jumping up and down. Sarah, that's Sarah. We know her. She feeds us.
Does she? Go ahead.
The older yellow one, or the taller yellow one that you first met, said her mom is drunk a lot, and she would spend a lot of time with us until she got older and got a job.
Yeah, she's doing actually quite a lot of work. Hopefully she is still at least keeps in contact with you guys, because you seem like a nice bunch.
We can take you to her. We can take you to her. They all keep saying, and they start like pulling at Lucas and dragging him along.
And Lucas goes, yes, and and kind of like lets them drag just because they seem to really enjoy such things.
Best ninja ever.
Basically, it's like,
Do you mind if I cut over to Isaac real fast?
go for it.
Isaac and Cyber 6. All right. So you've had some time to think.
Yeah, listen. I have no.
Okay.
I still have no goddamn idea. The only thing
That is
that
absolutely
I can
fine.
think of is maybe trying to bullshit my way through. Hey, what is this pillar made out of? While he tries to hack, and I don't think that's even gonna work.
That's absolutely fine. In that case, then
Would
you and
you-
Cyber 6. Oh,
Would you like
Huh?
a suggestion, Burn?
Sure, because I'm done with thinking right now.
All right. Try feigning an injury while leaving.
What are the floors made out of?
Everything looks like it's made out of a dark gray marble or granite.
Are they
So very
slippery?
shiny. They are not particularly slippery, but they certainly look like the floor of Walmart after it's been waxed, yes.
Okay. And there are chairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna sell this so hard. Isaac is going to get frustrated with the gentleman and start leaving. Then on the
Okay.
way out, he is going to purposefully put his right foot in front of his left foot, trip, and try and land his head on the edge of one of the chairs so that his forehead is actually bleeding.
Oh my god, alright.
Roll to
What happens when you have to call in sick for work? Do you chop off a hand? Ja.
Well, I mean, I have bioregeneration, so I mean...
So, here's the deal. I'm not quite sure exactly how to roll for this one. Or if I even
strike.
should make you. I tell
Make
you
sure you
what.
roll one.
Isaac has
Heal
like
yourself by accident.
Isaac has a sense of balance, right? Or you have, okay. Roll me a sense of balance check. Make it easier by 10. And here's the thought I'm going with here. You're using your sense of balance to make this look like you're really falling. It's almost the reverse. Instead of keeping your balance, you know how to also make it look like you can't keep your balance.
Let's see if I can do this. I succeed by 32.
Okay. You bang your face right on it with a loud thump. Please roll me roll me 2d6 SDC damage, please.
I take 5 to the face.
Okay. And you hit the chair and then fall to the floor. And at the noise, the room wasn't very loud to begin with, but it's almost as if like in the aftermath of the loud thunk, it's very quiet. Cyber
No,
6
it's not
looks-
quiet. He's
Okay.
going off. Fuck, that hurt. Oh my god, my face.
So you notice two things. First, you notice Cyber 6 look at you, his metallic purple eyes widen. And then he literally takes off his sombrero, puts it to his chest, and whispers, "The dedication." And then puts it back on his head and just begins to walk away. And the other thing you notice is the man behind the counter goes, "Ah." And then like walks around the desk and is in no hurry, but he says it just like this. "Oh no, sir. Are you okay? Please don't get up. Let me get over to you and make sure that you are okay." And he's like walking slowly over to you.
Isaac is going to turn, his face is full of blood, and go, "No, I'm not okay."
Oh my god. All right, hang on a second.
Do you want to walk slower by chance?
At the side of your face, he stops. And he's had a very posh kind of dialect until now. At this moment, he stops. He kind of bends over to his knees and goes, "Oh, okay. Whoa." And then he kind of like puts a finger up. And he goes, "Sir, if you would please." And he like takes out like a handkerchief and like throws it.
Isaac will grab it and ball it up and try and shove it in his face. Shove it in Isaac's face, not the guy's face. That would be weird. I hope that Cyber 6 is actually doing something behind the desk.
Yes.
Or
you
did he
can
really
see
just
Cyber-
fuck off?
No. He walked over to the left.
Okay.
And then you see almost a blur of motion as Cyber 6, a blur of motion, and then stops, and Cyber 6 is behind the computer. You just see basically a sombrero bobbing over the monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And the man who still has his hands on his knees, and the other keepers, the other people in the area have started to come forward and hesitantly, and you hear some like, "Oh, are you okay? Are you? Oh my gosh!" And the guy who has his hand on his knee, he's like, "Just apply pressure, sir, and hang on, hang on." I had this class. Please don't put it in any dirt.
Isaac will stare at him.
He looks a little green. As I'm guessing from your description, you haven't bothered to like wipe any blood from your
No.
face.
He has. He has started to wipe
okay.
and is trying to hold it to his face, and is staring
Alright.
at the guy with one eye, and the other eye is behind the cloth.
And he says, "Sir, what happened?"
These floors are... I don't know. I slipped. Okay? I think my shoes just didn't... These floors are slick, okay?
He looks at the others, now noticing that there's other people watching this, and he visibly I can't tell Isaac what he thinks or what he doesn't, but you might start to be getting the impression this guy is there's two things at play here: the employee manual and the antisocial nature of the man who read the employee manual. He sighs quite audibly and walks over to you and bends down on one knee and like reaches out with a full extended arm and pats you on the shoulder and says, "Oh my, we are so sorry. Here, let me help you to a medical facility."
Yes, please. Help. And he's gonna try and start getting up.
He nods and he
And-
says,
And
uh-huh.
when he's getting up, he's going to purposefully slip again back down as if the floors are super slippery where he is.
There's a little like as you do that, and he goes, and the employee goes, "Oh, this might require a stretcher. Hang on, let me go back to my monitor. I will call help."
No.
And he begins to, like,
It'll
turn.
be fine. It'll be fine. I can get up. Just here, help me.
Oh, sir,
grab my hand.
maybe I should
Grab
really
my hand.
call for. Because you reach out with a bloody hand. Sir, maybe really I should get someone to. And he starts to try and turn around again.
Listen. I can heal this. I just need to go back to my ship. I need to get up, okay? I need you to help me up. That's all you need to do.
Of course, sir. Customer service is our number one priority. And he reaches out his hand to your bloody hand.
Mm-hmm. Do they connect?
And grabs it.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
And Isaac will just try and get up normally.
And he throws up on you.
Oh, joy.
He basically grabs your hand, and there's that little squish when the hands
Yeah.
connect because it's all wet and bloody. And he goes, "Oh, nope." On your shirt.
Fantastic. As he's wiping away the blood still. Isaac will look up and see what Cyber 6 is doing.
Cyber 6 is in front of the desk now, leaning up against it with his arms folded, just watching. His legs are like crossed out in front of him.
Listen, okay. And Isaac will start to try and pick up the guy by the shoulders and start maneuvering him back to his desk where he can sit down.
The guy is dry heaving half the time there. And between dry heaves, he's saying, "If you would like to lodge a formal complaint, Please feel free.
No, 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 no. You'll do fine. I'll do fine. And he sits him back down in his chair and pulls out the bucket, places it on the table in front of him, and goes, "Perhaps you should call an ambulance, buddy." And then leaves the bloody handkerchief in the bucket.
And with that, it's safe to say you and Cyber 6 walk out?
Yup.
Cyber 6, when you exit the door, Cyber 6 just starts... with, of course, it's a metal clank to it as he does it. And it goes, "You, sir, are a thespian."
I guess.
Well, as my drama teacher once told me, if you don't have the acting chops, you can sell it through sheer determination.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm gonna need like 5 minutes and a change of shirt. I'm gonna need to change my shirt.
I dare say you might want to do something before you meet the rest of the team. You
Oh,
look
don't worry
dreadful
about
like
it.
that.
I'll regenerate it. Don't worry about it.
He nods, and you guys go off.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He says, well, on the bright side, I did find your Sarah.
Good.
She's living on the 8th level in the residential section. Not a bad part of town, given where it is. But we can head right there if you'd like.
Let me stop by a store really quick and get rid of this shirt, because, and he points down to the vomit. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Okay then.
Yeah.
And you guys head off towards some sort of store.
Yeah. After here's what's gonna happen narratively. Here's what I want to happen. We go to the store, get a new shirt, which is what, like 5-10 credits, something like that.
Yeah.
And then he will spend a minute or two to regenerate the 6 HP or 6 SDC that I lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Cyber 6 says, if we are going to be headed down, perhaps I should just call the team to meet us there. Perhaps you could let your friends meet us there too.
Yeah, that's actually a very good idea. And Isaac will reach up to his earbud and try and phone the rest of the gang through our radio frequency.
Okay. Who here does not have a radio with them? If
Okay.
anyone.
Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
I'd figure I would have my earbud.
So Xavier, and by virtue of that Kavak, since you would be with Xavier, would be able to hear this.
Yeah.
I would say this is right about the time the matches just got delayed.
Okay.
Okay, I do have a radio.
Okay. So
Oh
you're
my
able
God,
to
knowing
contact...
you, it's like a giant plastic flower or some bullshit.
It is actually a radio I got from the pirates.
Oh my god!
Wow.
It was basically me like acting crazy and handing back like the radio to them, like, no, you can keep it. That's what he has as a radio.
All right. So okay, you have to be right back. So here's I'll just ask it this way. You would receive a message from Byrne, and if you want, from Isaac, and if he wants to retcon it, of course he can. Basically saying that they have found Sarah's apartment. Cyber 6 and Isaac are on their way there. Cyber 6 is also calling the rest of the Corsairs to meet at that location and requests that you guys meet there as well.
Okay. Oh, also heads up, Isaac. The Spagorth are running advertisements looking for a crew of a ship called the Starluck with the rough approximate descriptions of the culprits that offended them. I put a $1 million bounty on information leading to the individuals, so $1 million per person. So I thought you should know that. Also, Lucas. I just realized my mic was up this entire time. Could you still hear me? Did it?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we could
Okay.
hear you. It was soft, but we could hear you.
Okay, and also Lucas, where the hell are you?
You hear nothing back from Lucas, but you do hear beep 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 beep. Beep. He's sending you something.
I do not have the patience for this. Where do you want us to meet?
Isaac
It's
will give
probably
an
gonna
address.
be like I like butts or something. Knowing Lucas.
It is close.
I like that booty, booty, booty. Yeah.
No, where are we supposed to meet?
Isaac will give an address
Yeah.
over in the
That's
level 8
Sarah's apartment.
residential. Yes.
All right, we'll meet you there.
Mm-hmm. And that's very interesting that they're going to be. You did mention that they were going to be out of character, searching for us, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have a question for Talavac.
Mm-hmm.
Would the sponsored ad from the Splagorth cause Talavac any sort of mental discomfort? Like, would he have thought or felt surprised or fear, or angry, or anything like that?
There would be something of great concern, but we've dealt with them before, so I guess I would be a little concerned about that.
Got
I'm
it.
just wondering how. I don't know how much of the smoke is being blown up our asses, or if
Right.
they're really for real. But I will definitely keep it in a great consideration.
So, like Vietnam flashback level, but not. Yeah, got it.
You know?
Okay. Then you would hear a voice in your head. Talavac, are you okay? I sense that you are disturbed.
Do I recognize the voice?
Oh God, yeah, it's your rune blade.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure before I ask this question.
Yeah, it's you're familiar enough with Rapture by now to know it's him.
Okay.
It's it.
Okay. Can I talk back?
Yeah, you can think. You guys, as far as between you and your rune blade, you are linked to where, as long as you are not too far apart from each other, you can just telepathically think to each other.
All right. I just tell them that grave things have come up. I may need your assistance.
You get a voice back in your head. I am here whenever you need me.
Then I'm coming right now. And then I'm going to go back to the ship.
Would you let Xavier know, or would you just start walking off, or?
No, I just go over to Xavier, pat him on the shoulder, tell him heading back to the ship, be back in a few, and then go. So yeah,
I'll just
I do that.
re-inform Talavac exactly where we're meeting. Well, he was on the radio. He knows, so fuck it. Yeah, we'll meet him there. Whatever. Get whatever you need.
I need to do a quick thing back to the ship. I'll be back down there.
All right. If everyone's okay, we could pull back a little narratively. Is it fair to say? My thoughts would be from Lucas's excursions, the slinking around as a ninja. For you guys to arrive outside of Sarah's house, like you wouldn't all arrive at the same time, but close enough together that you would wait for the others before.
Correct.
I don't know. I do have a small horde of children following me.
You do.
Cute wolfing kid.
Yeah.
I want to adopt him. Name him Chompy.
Name him Chompy. Noam Chomsky.
Well, okay, so here's what would happen. Lucas, actually, you know what? Let's just do it this way. Could you guys all roll me a d20, please?
Okay.
I can't currently look at my screen very long at the moment. Squee, can you roll it for me,
Yeah,
please?
sure. All right. Okay. Lucas arrives first, shortly followed by Xavier, followed by Talavac, and followed by Isaac, who had to stop with Cyber 6 and get a new shirt.
Yep.
This is something that can't be rushed. A new shirt.
Yeah, I can respect that.
So, Lucas, you arrive first. However, when the kids eventually take you to the house, They stop outside it, and then the yellow DB looks to you and says, "We aren't allowed inside. Sarah made it very, very clear that, well, we stay out here."
All right. Well, just to make sure we can get you guys your cash, we're just gonna do a quick check to see if she's here. And Lucas is going to rap at the door with his knuckle.
Okay. You hear no answer. It is a two-story building, but it's still fairly small. It is, for the buildings that you see around you, it's pretty decent. It's made from concrete. It certainly is a house. It is in very shoddy repair, though. There are some windows around, but you don't see any lights coming from inside. And about this time, you see Xavier walking up by himself.
Look at me. I'm Xavier.
Oh, hey! So this was the location that was noted?
Yes.
Xavier will eye it up pretty quickly. Be like, yeah, looks like it. And he's going to look at the plethora of the gaggle of children that's around you.
Including the adorable wolfen kid.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
guys.
it's adorable, but you know what? Xavier is species blind. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who they are or how cute they is.
You guys are a truthful and lucky bunch to know Sarah. You each get 100 credits. Come on, gather around.
They
Xavier
start
gives a small
cheering.
groan and think to himself, they are never gonna leave him alone now.
Contrary a little bit to Xavier's thoughts,
Well,
the second each
whatever.
of them gets their 100 credits, they all dart off in different directions, hoarding their money closely to their chest.
Do any of them pass nearby Xavier?
A few of them, yeah.
I'm gonna
by the
check
way-
my pockets afterwards.
By the way, deduct 1,000 credits, Lucas.
I thought it was 11.
Oh, I'm
100.
sorry, 1,100 credits, yes.
There you go.
Your pockets are, to your knowledge, fine.
Everything
taking
seems
my
to be
wallet.
where it was before.
Everything seems to be where it was before. For a second, you thought, no, wait, oh, no, okay, yeah, I had that in the other pocket, it's fine.
Those kids so like crit you. Oh wait, no, here it is. All right.
Yeah, and the kids all dart off. So now it's just Lucas and Xavier.
You know what? No, that's just Lucas and Xavier. Xavier was gonna say this. So we had that robot fight, Lucas.
Lucas is standing to his back to you, but Radrod's stiff.
Lucas.
Oh, Xavier! Hey,
Hey.
you
Yeah.
found me.
So here's the deal, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Talavac and I got to the next round. If you want to join in, you're welcome to, but you don't get the prize money anymore.
And you've been told that it will be the finals, the next round.
So if you want to make it up to us for flaking out, we'll appreciate it. But in my mind, the very fact that you left us without telling us what you were doing absolves you of any prize money.
All right.
Do you think that's fair?
No.
Well, maybe if you give, and then Xavier's gonna cross his arm and address Lucas like he's a child and say, "Well, maybe give me a good reason why you bitched out on us. Maybe I'll maybe I'll change my mind."
Look, I was worried about Sarah. I mean, people were going missing, right? Like, I couldn't have just freaking got up in a giant robot all day having fun when I knew that freaking the lady I like a lot is in trouble.
Okay, and Xavier's gonna sigh and say, "Okay, all right, but why didn't you tell us? You literally snuck away. Is he still in that fucking ninja outfit, by the way? or
No,
did
he's
you-
he's in
okay.
his normal garb at the moment.
Xavier's gonna say, you literally snuck away. We had no idea where you are. You were talking about worried about people going missing. Don't you think that we would be worried that you suddenly gone missing, especially after we saw that Talvac and I saw that announcement that a certain scary intergalactic group is looking for, certain people?
How did I look? Did they get my good side?
Xavier size. You were wearing your ninja outfit, so they drew a ninja outfit.
Okay.
So back to my point. Why did you disappear without telling? Why didn't you tell us that's what you planned on doing?
See, what you're doing right now is probably the reason, the whole being angry and stuff.
Uh-huh. I would be let Xavier pauses for a moment and he thinks back. Xavier pauses literally for a moment and he thinks back to a certain time in his life where he was tutored by someone close to him, and she said it's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission. This thought is going through Xavier's head right now, and he'll say, okay, but still. Just whatever.
I'm sorry if this pans out before the match. I'd be very glad to help you guys out. I just He looks over to the door. Actually, looks worried. He doesn't seem to have any sort of playful face on at the moment.
Wait, well, no, that definitely catches Xavier by surprise. I probably can count on one hand when Lucas has looked genuinely worried, and I think half that time is when we have all collectively, as a group, have been screaming for our lives, fleeing from certain things of power. Xavier's gonna look to the door and be like, "Has there been an answer?"
No.
Xavier nods and says, "Well, fuck it then. Let's go in. If someone's in trouble, we can't wait any longer. I'm sure Talavac and Isaac will understand." And Xavier will move over to the door.
I will say this. Talavac and Isaac. I will give you a little bit of leeway or freedom as to when exactly you guys arrive. You arrive after those two. I'll leave it up to you if you arrive before they go in or after they go in.
I want to arrive before they go in.
Okay, then by virtue, Talavac, are you okay also arriving because you arrived before he does?
I have a question though.
Yes.
How much gear could I have gotten away with? Because I wanted to bring a couple of items.
Oh gosh, well, if you went by the ship, I mean, whatever gear you wanted, really. There's no checkpoints or anything down in the residential areas.
Okay.
There isn't?
Mm-mm.
Shit.
Oh.
Then I'd be wearing my stealth armor. I'd have Rapture, and I'd
So-
also have my my SDC pistol.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this: you guys would know this as characters, so if you would like to maybe retcon, because that is a fair point. If you know that people down here could be wearing mega damage things, then you might not just walk around in your SDC clothing. If you would like to have any equipment that is feasible or fair, I am willing to let you have.
Cool. Well, I've made it very clear, and I think it's when we first landed on center, is that Xavier, after previous events, doesn't go anywhere without his force field. So I'm fine.
Yeah.
Wear
without
my
the P
clothes and
field.
force field. And Xavier isn't a fighter, so he'll take his little Walther PP style pistol with him, but
Mhm.
he's not taking any mega damage weaponry. If
Okay.
if it gets to mega damage combat, then Xavier has failed as a human being.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Then if that's the case, and if we were going to the residential area, could we have for Isaac specifically, could he had gotten a new shirt, regenerated, then went to the ship and geared up?
Yeah. I mean, all the time is very relative because this was all happening during the robot battles, etc. So yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so then Isaac is packing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like to move?
No, he
I know, I'm
has.
being an asshole.
Yeah, he has a lot of mega damage weapons and his mega damage Brannigan armor, which looks oddly enough exactly like his normal cowboy outfit, but with an actual shielded head mask
I
thing.
would.
S-
Oh.
Hmm?
I was about to suggest to get back to the scene then. Would we say that Talavac and Isaac showed up as, say, Xavier's examining the door?
Yes.
Sure.
I think that's a fair way to go. I would like to ask though, just in case, because if we do get into combat, you said a lot of mega damage weapons.
Yes.
Could you be a bit more specific?
Probably
Okay.
a good idea, yeah.
Let me roll through them. First off,
Mhm.
there is that scythe, that vibro scythe that is folded up on his back.
Mhm.
There are also 6 mega damage weapons. 2 of them are going to be the Dragster VLPs. 2 Naruni Enterprise NE8SLs, the slimlines, and also the 2 Bandit Big Bores.
Okay.
So
All
that's
right.
6 pistols.
Okay. Good. That's plenty for. I mean, as far as information goes. That's
And
fine.
also,
Lucas. Okay.
I should probably mention that he has the Brannigan armor with a augmenting helmet.
Got it. Lucas, what would he have on him?
If he knew that there was no checkpoint things and
Mhm.
whatnot, he would bring his magic shurikens, and he would probably be still sporting his guitar case full of flutes.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you two arrive right around the time Xavier's like, you know what? Let's go inside, and starts walking up to the door.
Great.
Cyber 6 would, of course, wave his hand and say, hello again, friends.
Xavier will give a bit of a wave and says, "Hello, Cyber 6. Sorry for no pleasantries, but we're concerned that an acquaintance of ours might be in trouble. I'm all for bashing down this door, guys. Or maybe," and Xavier's gonna make a fidget for the door handle. Maybe that won't be necessary.
No, the door would the door handle would be locked, though the door itself, while sturdy and would keep out the average passerby, is not immune to forcing.
Okay. Well, Xavier's gonna look over at Talavac and gesture to the lock. So, Mr. Thief, you think you can pick a simple lock for us?
At this rate here, probably not, but let me see.
Gotta love that optimism, Xavier says, as
Yep.
he steps to one side.
Okay. Break out the little kit and apply it where it needs to be applied.
Directly to the forehead.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to attempt a lockpick skill.
All right, sir. No penalties or anything. It's not a very complicated lock.
Okay.
Dun.
Oh, I did it exactly. I rolled my percentage. Yeah.
Nicely done. Okay, so Talavac takes enough time that some of you guys might start thinking, can he do it? Can he do it? And then there's a click and the door starts to swing open.
Okay. When it opens up, what's inside? Is it light inside, or what's the illumination like?
It is, the lights are turned off, but the outside is still fairly illuminated. It's obviously not like daylight, but it's the picture is fairly representative of the level of illumination from the outside. So it's a decent level. And it filters in through the windows enough so that you can get a clear idea. All of you can get a clear idea of what's going on. So the door opens up into what looks like a living room. However, it's a wreck. The furniture is thrown around and broken. The appliances seem to be strewn about the place. There are curtains that have been pulled down. And the hallway that leads further into the house has some sort of gash along one of the walls.
Okay, given my expertise, was this an assaulting or was this a somebody was looking for something? Like, is there evidence of struggling or anything like that, or is it just belongings thrown everywhere?
That would be something you'd actually have to try and find out. I
Okay.
will say this: it's not obvious enough that it would be an unskilled. You just know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But I definitely want to look around some more.
Sure. Would the others come in as well?
Yes.
Yes. Of course. Yeah.
Lucas would probably rush in and, with a worried voice, Sarah?
Shh.
No, Sarah.
Oh God. All right, check for heat patterns.
You actually hear Cyber 6 say on it, and his eyes grow from purple to red.
Squee,
Mm-hmm.
I hate to have to ask, but there is somebody that keeps asking me to do it in chat, so do I sense any vampires nearby?
No, you don't sense anything like that nearby.
Don't
There.
let chat bully you around. Do you whatever the fuck you want to do. They're not
I
playing
know,
the game.
it's a
You
passive ability, and they've been saying for the past three
I will
episodes
say
to
this.
check for vampires.
I will say this to save you all the trouble. I'm aware of the passive ability. If at any time between now and eternity, if you do sense any, I will let you know. I promise.
Okay. There.
Sweet. And if for whatever reason it slips your mind, vampires do show up, and it happens sometimes with sixth
Exactly.
sense, right?
Yeah.
Then you just go back, and the DM says, "Oh, my bad. We'll rehash it, right?"
But yeah, no. But I mean, I don't mind the question at all.
Yeah.
But to save you the torment, I should be able to let you know, and we can always rehash if we need to.
Chat isn't a torment,
You don't
but
sense
sometimes.
anything like that. You also don't sense any danger towards you. Otherwise, your sixth sense would be tingling.
Me or any of my crewmates?
Exactly.
Or friends?
Well, I meant you
Okay.
collectively.
Friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant you collectively. Cyber 6 like peers around the room, and he says, I don't see anyone, but there's a room in the back that's shielded. Not incredibly unknown, but definitely uncommon.
Are you talking about energy shielded, or are we talking about like a big metallic panel?
No, it's simply shielded from infrared vision, which could be any number of methods or reasons.
Xavier gives a smile and he says, "Oh, so by the way, is it Cypher or Cyber?"
Cyber.
Cyber. Okay, thank you. By the way,
No, not a problem.
and Xavier will look over to Cyber 6 and says, "Oh, Cyber." Trust me, if it can't pierce, if something is shielded from infrared or any sort of heat signatures, the intent is very, very clear. It wants to be hidden, and it's probably a big clue. Mind pointing me in that direction? I wouldn't mind checking it out.
Cyber nods, and he points down towards the hall and says, last door on the right.
Okay, and Xavier will start heading down that direction. Carefully, taking a listen. He's not going to rush.
I'll cover you.
Lucas rushes over.
You see, as you go down the hall, you do see several other rooms. Some of the doors are open, and they seem to be in a similar state of disarray. Things are tossed around, thrown around, broken, or otherwise disheveled. Lucas, as you get close to the door, you hear a sound that is not something you hear all the time, but it's certainly something that's unmistakable. It is the sound of something a heavy thud followed by a squish, as if something sharp or metallic was slicing into something um, like meat or body or something of that nature.
Oh boy.
Lucas immediately starts casting a spell. It is going to be funny glasses.
Okay. You cast the spell, funny glasses. Obviously, the infrared doesn't see much, but you have magical abilities to see as well. What does the glasses cover? I know I've asked this before, but it's been a while.
It is definitely has see aura, see
Mhm.
invisible. Let me go and double check the other things. Can see in darkness, and including magical darkness.
Well, Piph
What
is
else?
doing that just as soon as Xavier sees Lucas start to mutter and wave his hands about, he's gonna
Mm.
flick on his force field.
Okay. You'll be close enough. You'll also hear the same sound.
And I'm gonna just start instinctively start scanning for panels or little inlays or anything that might hint as to a way to access this shielded area.
Okay.
So it is glasses to permit the caster to see another person's aura, and the invisible just like see aura and see invisible.
Got it. You do see on the other side of the room, you do see an aura. It does not look like it's not. I've actually never dealt with auras before. It's not an evil.
Yeah,
or
well, we'll
malicious
take a
aura.
moment to read
Yeah.
the description
Yeah.
because it gives you a really good idea of what auras do and do not emit.
All right. Lucas, where are magic glasses?
Magic glasses actually does not actually give you the full description. You actually have to see under
Oh,
see
yeah,
invisible.
see
Yeah,
aura
if you go
in
into the Rift's
Rifts.
main rulebook and put in Seora, you'll get it.
It says Rift's RPG page 168.
Okay. Then, if you guys don't mind, give me just one
Yeah,
moment.
do it, homie. I have to look up shit all the time, especially for stuff like object read or Seora, stuff like that, because there's such a very, you want to make sure you're accurate, right? And there's very
Mhm.
specific things that it detects. I mean, of course, the GM can take liberties with that, but it's a good bouncing off point.
All right. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Got it. So here's what you see. You do see an aura in the next room. You can tell that it's a fairly weak aura, i.e., it's a level maybe between 1 and 3. You don't sense the presence of any magic or psychic abilities, and whoever it is does not have a higher than normal PPE, so they're not like a trained spellcaster or anything of that kind. You don't sense any sort of possessing entity or anything aberrant or unusual.
Okay. Is Now, I do get a general shape from this, correct or incorrect?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
It is the shape of a humanoid.
Okay. Cool.
Would you like me to roll a skill check, Squee, in regards to how
Yes,
well
please, to
I'm able
see.
to? Okay, so sorry, you have to just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just so frazzled because of my current condition that I didn't even open up my character sheet for shame. So let me do that real quick. Because I'm always confused. Okay, detect concealment, I think, is the best way to go, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
I know concealment. Oh no, concealment. Actually, never mind. It's weird. I do have to admit it's a little weird because concealment is very specific to small items, but detect concealment can be anything from like camouflage to shit like this, you know?
Mhm.
It's a little counterintuitive, but let me just double check what I need. 65 base. Any modifiers?
No.
Okay.
It's not incredibly difficult, and it's
Succeed by 15.
okay. Um, here's what you notice. This room is, to your expert eye, it's a safe room. This room is designed to be difficult to penetrate from the outside, and in Xavier's experience, it is commonly used by. Well, there are high-income ones, there are low-income ones, but it's typically used by people who live
Like
in
a
a
panic
place.
room?
Exactly like a panic room.
Yeah. Xavier will say, this isn't to hide something, this is to hide people. Called a panic room. It's going to be notoriously hard to breach unless we convince whoever's on the inside to open up, or I find the emergency latch.
Let me have a look.
You're more than welcome to. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can certainly have a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Xavier's gonna just give a look to Lucas and the rest of the gang. He's gonna shrug and he's gonna knock on the front of this wall.
The sound stops.
Sarah, are you in there?
There is a very long pause, and then you hear a very muffled, "Who is it?"
This is Lucas and the gang.
The After another few seconds, you see the aura rush towards the door. The door is flung open, and Sarah flings herself at Lucas and is crying. And she's saying, "Oh my God, I was so scared. I was so scared."
Hey, it's okay. It's all right. We're here. And
She's
he's in straight up just consoling mode at the moment.
got it. She starts babbling very quickly. "I got home and the whole place, it was torn around and thrown around and everything's broken. My mother was nowhere to be seen, and there's some sort of mark in the wall, and I had nowhere else to stay, and I was afraid that whatever did this might come back, and I locked myself in the room, and I didn't have a way of contacting you."
Isaac will ask if she is hurt in any way.
She shakes her head.
Alright.
Xavier's gonna give her a moment for her to compose herself, of course.
Mhm.
Once she takes maybe a few deep breaths or feels a little bit less panicked, or maybe Lucas helps her out or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Xavier will eventually broach the question and say, "You must have some idea who does this." He gestures around to the room and say, "This amount of destruction," and he points to the thing on the wall there. They're either searching for something or they meant to leave a message, which means they're pretty strong enemies. You must have some idea.
She looks wide-eyed and then kind of sniffles a bit and starts to collect herself. And then she stands up with Lucas's help. I assume Lucas would help her.
Absolutely.
And she shakes her head and she goes, "My mother was a drunk, but she was very friendly. I don't know of any enemies. I mean,
Say,
there's the normal looters and mercenary gangs and bandits. That's why we even made a room like this, but no one specific."
Sarah, I understand that you're concerned. And if I were in your position, I'd be equally trepidatious, especially, and wary, especially of people that you've met less than a week ago. But we've shown the character of our metal, and Xavier's going to look over at Lucas, and it is clear that we do care about you, your safety, and the safety of your mother. Think carefully and trust us. If you're hiding anything, it won't get your mother back any further. This is not the time for secrets.
She squeezes her eyes shut and shakes her head, and she says, I'm telling the truth, and it's not just my mother. The whole neighborhood. There's no one left.
Yeah. That's what we heard. That's why we decided to track you down.
Xavier pauses for a moment. And he'll look over to Cyber 6 and his other compatriots, and he says, if other houses were hit like this frantic, it implies that these people are either in a rush or they did this over and over again. You do things enough times, you're going to make mistakes. Since Sarah doesn't know anything, I suggest, and Xavier gives a bit of a sigh, he is kind of a selfish person after all, and says, I guess since no one else gives a shit about this, we might as well at least do our best and try to figure things out. Maybe go to a few more of these residences, see if the same situation is there, kind of come up with a pattern, maybe find a clue or something.
Cyber 6 begins to answer, and then you hear a feminine voice from behind him say, wow, this place sure saw a show, didn't it? And people begin filing in from behind Cyber 6.
Oh boy.
5 people, to be precise. And as they begin filing in, Cyber 6 looks at you and says, I don't believe we've officially introduced each other, but guys, meet my team.
Hello.
Hello.
And Cyber 6 starts to give brief introductions. He points to a middle-aged looking man, quite handsome, short brown hair, well kept. And he says, this is Terry Simmons, my second in command, a mastermind if I splurge a little bit, but certainly our thinker. This, he points to a very green, large, furry D. He is about as tall as Isaac, a little bit taller, by like a hair, but he is about twice Isaac's girth. He is a huge, bulking man with glasses. And Cyber 6 says, this is Onigus Morkant. He is our tech specialist and one of the best pilots I've ever seen. This beauty that spoke earlier, and he points to she looks like an elf with white flowing hair and purple skin, says, this is Magnolia Lum, our tracker.
What's her physical beauty score?
Physical beauty score is like 18. It's
Oh my god,
super
she's so
high.
hot.
Wow, so she's not as
Super
hot as
hot.
Isaac.
Get out of my dreams and onto my body pillow. Also, hey, listen, if Isaac can say something like that, then I'm going to simply say, that's the best pilot he's ever seen. He's seen me do crazy shit in space. I'm a good pilot, too. All right, anyway. Continue on with the introductions. I just had to be a nerd.
Hang on. Oh yeah,
This
elf.
one.
Yes.
PB-18.
Cyber 6 says, Isaac, I believe you've already met Indigo Yaxel, even if she wasn't conscious at the time. And the middle one, Isaac, you find very familiar. This is the girl that had the horrible chest injury that and had the eye patch over her eye. However, now instead of an eye patch, she has a cybernetic eye.
All right. Isaac will tip his hat to her.
She'll nod. She'll say, I never got a chance to thank you for saving my life.
No worries. Comes with the job.
And Cyber 6 says, and now, last but not least, Ollie Sperling, our acquisition expert, if you will. And you see before you a 7-foot tall, very slender reptilian DB. His arms and legs look very spindly and longer than... Lucas, remember I told you that DB had the disproportionate arms and legs?
Yep.
This DB even more so. And he nods. He says, "It's a pleasure to meet you."
The character, where did you find a picture with a robot with a sombrero? I am super impressed.
Right?
Did someone draw that for you, or did you
I
just find it?
photoshopped Raiden's face out of there and put a robot.
Really?
That's really good, actually.
That's
That
an
is pretty
excellent
neat.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, thank you. I've
I
had
thought
some
it was
practice.
just all coincidence.
No. I had some. Everything else was just pictures I found online, but that one I was like, I can face in there, but it was the perfect picture of what I imagined. So I
know,
just did a
right?
little bit of
right?
photoshopping.
Okay,
But,
I'm gonna be honest with you. First of all, I like all these pictures. I'm liking this crew. This is kind of neat. I'm also gonna say that initially, bare honest truth, I thought initially Cypher with the sombrero was a very silly thing. Of course, this is kind of a wacky campaign, so whatever, right?
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of pulling it off.
He is.
Yeah.
Right?
He
kind
does.
of pulling it off.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
And
impressed.
you have Lucas to thank for that.
Yeah, great.
I've never seen
Anyway,
anybody
on to a
make it look
character with
cool.
super serious situation.
Is it okay if I introduce, or do you want to introduce?
Honestly, Xavier isn't much for long-winded introductions considering the context, but God, he's a talker, so feel free to introduce you. Well, I think, you know what, honestly?
Mhm.
Just due to the personalities of our group, and we don't really have a leader, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we have people that assign certain roles, and some are more verbose than others, but I think it's more akin to the personality of our team for us to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. But you can start us off.
All right. He'll wave to them, or Isaac will wave to them and say, "I'm Isaac Redfield, an Atlantean from Earth, trying to find his father, and is an ex-sheriff. I'm basically the muscle of the group. I have been told a lot by him, and he's going to point to Xavier, that I'm essentially a walking arsenal. I'm what's called a psi-slinger. And yeah.
Xavier will give a thin smile and says, "Not really in a good situation for me to give you my entire background, but you can call me, well." Xavier is going to pause for a moment, then realize that Isaac already ousted him, and the Corsairs, I guess, are as trustworthy as any. At least we're in the same, boat together.
Mhm.
So Xavier say, "Name Xavier Anderson. Long and the short of it, I both solve problems and make problems, find secrets, and keep secrets."
He's also a damn good pilot.
Yeah. And Xavier kind of gives, because of the darkness of the situation, he doesn't give a big beam or anything like that, but he gives a little shrug. But interior, if he has his friend ranking meter, Isaac just went up 10 points in Xavier's head.
You notice the Onigas's ears twitch when he said "good pilot."
No, I said great pilot.
Oh well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right. And so that's Xavier done with his introduction.
Isaac looks to Lucas.
Yeah, I was about to say, during all of these introductions, Lucas is making sure, that Sarah's
Sarah.
okay, and basically, if I can move her from the situation, we'll probably move her back into the panic room. and generally explain shortly the situation.
Mm-hmm.
She would let you do so. She seems to very quickly be regaining her composure. If anything, she is sturdier stock than many people. And she begins. She listens, and then she nods, and she says, "They're friends of yours."
Um, we're getting to know each other fairly well, but they're also investigating the disappearances. Actually, that's where we heard it from first. It was from them.
She nods, and then she thinks for a second, and then she goes, "Just who are you?"
Lucas gives a small smirk and stands up straight, flourishes his arm into the air. Lucas, as always, as he gives a small bow.
She smiles a little bit and then shakes her head, and she says, "That's not what I meant, you lunk, but I guess it'll have to do." And then she kind of like she's like wiping her face and really starting to regain her composure.
Gum?
She nods gratefully.
And now I pronounce you man and wife. He doesn't give out gum to anybody. Just say.
So, Talavek, would you introduce yourself?
I would reluctantly step out, look at all of them. I want to just take off my helmet. And, briefly, just say, Dalavac, thief, infiltrator, computer hacker. Put the helmet back on and step back.
Lucas would say to Sarah, "Give me 1 second. We're doing introductions." It'll give us long 2 strides out of the room.
Wait. What? What did you say to me?
Not to you, to Sarah.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to me that way.
No.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Piph.
Oh, Lucas. I like to call my seat the wild card seat.
Oh my god, of course you would. And I cut the brakes. Wild card, bitches!
You do notice that Cyber 6 with his arms crossed is nodding his head as if this was an appropriate answer. After that, you notice, so during your introductions, I was going to let you all give your introductions first before I kind of give too many responses. Simmons seems to be appraising everyone, looking at everyone long and thoughtfully. Onegas, and actually here, let me go ahead and I'll throw this in the Discord chat for you guys. You keep this for your records, just to help you kind of remember who's who and what's what. Because I know it's a lot of names thrown at you. Yeah. So there's some names and a brief description of who they are. So Simmons looks at you guys, and Simmons was the one you'll remember. He was the one that was not too excited about you guys being on the ship last time and borrowing the laser technology and following Lucas as he serenaded the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
But
being kind of a butt.
But this time he actually seems to have a much more warm demeanor. And as he's appraising you guys, he's not doing so in a cold manner, but actually in a much warmer, friendlier manner than you are used to from him. Onegas looks at each of you and nods his head. And at some point in it, he actually takes his spectacles off and cleans them and puts them back on. But it's hard to tell much facial features from him. You will see his ears twitch from time to time. Indigo, Yaxel, actually reaches out to shake each one's hand as they introduce themselves. And she pays apt attention. Ollie Sperling simply tilts his head to the side each time until Talavac shows his face. And now, Talavac, it's clear he's not the same race as you, but you do share certain qualities in skin, and you are both of reptilian. Like, you would evolve from the same ancestor type of thing. But you're
it's
not
kind of like us and elves, right?
Exactly,
The elves are
yes,
mammals,
exactly.
but there's a
Yeah.
very clear different phenotype.
Also,
when
technically, both of you guys are in acquisitions. Just
That's
wanted to-
true.
yeah,
That's
just
true.
wanted to point that
What does
out.
that mean? I'm sorry.
You're both
See-
thieves.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. They said it the diplomatic way. You said it the honest way.
Yeah.
When he sees your face, he would nod and say, "I would be careful if I were you. I've heard that the Splagorth are looking for you in particular, but they seem to be not very picky, and I have heard that they have already started rounding up those of your species."
I just kind of look away. It's like, well, it would be something that they would do.
He nods. And Magnolia, who was the dark elf, has not paid attention to the extent that she's actually examining the room around her. She's actually crouched down when you finish the introductions, looking at the room around her. And when the introductions are done, she looks up and she says, "This work looks to me too random. I don't think anyone was searching for anything. I believe this was either wanton destruction for the sake of destruction, or a mindless beast. It could be either."
At mindless beast, Isaac will look over to Xavier slowly.
She stands up and she says, "Unfortunately, if you unleash a wild Tangor in a room, or unleash a mad psychopath in a room that loves destruction, you get the same basic result.
Do we see any blood around, Squee?
No blood."
Then Xavier's gonna shake his head and say, "It doesn't make a lot of sense. Your theory, what with the wild beast and all, wild beasts are by definition wild. Unless this wild beast loves to kidnap people and hide them away to someplace special, you'd think you'd see some sort of blood, some evidence of a serious physical struggle. Although I don't think I think it's far too early to rule out absolutely anything. Your interest in this is uplifting." Xavier will take a look at Sarah before looking back at the Corsairs and says, "You've already proved your mettle, that you're willing to help people that need assistance back on Silver Rock. In order to get to the bottom of this quickly, are you willing to assist us?"
Simmons actually eyes widen a little bit at that, and he says, "I was under the impression you were assisting us. I suppose, though, that answers the question well enough."
Hold up a second. You're gonna have to just give me a little bit out of
Sure.
character leeway here, Squeepy, because from time to time during this session, I've had to take my headphones off and deal with things. But
Absolutely.
out of curiosity, I was under the impression that we were joining forces to help him find out what this time rip. Is Sarah somehow related to that?
No, were you talking
No.
to Sarah just now?
No. But
No.
we're in the situation of Sarah and her family and her crisis. You know what I mean? So I just
Yes,
want to
in
make sure I'm on
one-
the same page before I retort like a smartass to these Corsairs.
Got it. Yes, in one way. Cyber 6 told you that so far the only lead they had was that a large number of people had gone disappearing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I suggested Sarah
He said-
first.
Yeah, he said that at the end of the last session. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, good. See, I'm glad I clarified this before
Mhm.
Xavier gives a nod and says, "Yes, well, however you wanted to find it. Helping each other, we help you, you help us. Regardless, we're in this situation together right now. And all roads might lead to the same objectives, I guess.
You see Cyber 6 makes a clicking noise and he goes, huh. I honestly thought you'd be angrier at me bringing them on board, Simmons. Simmons looks at Cyber 6 and for a moment, just a brief moment, his face grows rather cold. And then he goes, not the time for that.
You're right. This is my proposal. We, and Xavier will gesture to the crew of the Second Chance, the Starlock, and says, we are used to working with each other. We've been in pretty dire situations. You, also, are a clear team. I suggest for the sake of efficiency, we split up into 2 task groups and investigate this house and or other residences around this area. Try to come up with more information to solidify a wild beast theory or a mercenary theory or something else of alike.
Their team and our team.
Magnolia is nodding her head. And Cyber 6 is about to respond when Onegus actually steps up and raises a hand with a clawed finger pointing upwards. And he says, point of order first, if you don't mind. I was informed by Cyber 6 of the agreement, and I was told that I am to make available to you our offer of protection if needed. As I understand, you are wanted by the Splagorth, which can be a huge... And then you hear like Cyber 6 going, not now, Onegus.
Later.
And Onegus shakes his head. He says, no, formalities must be done first. You must fully understand before you can make an appropriate decision. At some point, if you would like, you can work with me to apply for formal protection. It is a program that the Corsairs have where we can relocate you at your will to a different time or place. But it is a protocol that must be followed. There are paperwork, forms, and things that must be filled out. After all, we must ensure that moving you out of this time would not damage it more than you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. No, wait. Xavier's been doing a lot of talking. It sounds like you want to say something as Isaac Byrne. You have right of way. Go ahead.
Isaac will kind of feign the same exact thing that Onegus did and went, would this also apply to the person that you have just admitted to that is a bystander, that you would be able to hide us in time?
You
and
see
he points
Cyber
over
6...
to Sarah.
You see Cyber 6 has his head in his hands and he's just shaking it. And Onegus goes, oh, goodness gracious me, she didn't know.
No.
Someone's getting a mind wipe. Someone's getting a mind wipe.
That's why Cyber 6 was trying to stop you. Along with me, too.
Cyber 6 lifts his head up and goes,
damage is done.
I suppose the offer stands now. Though, again, not the time. Look, I'll lay out to you as quickly as I can. You'd have to fill out forms. You'd have to tell us about yourselves as honestly as you can, because if you lie and you end up being important to time and we move you, it could be bad, but I promise it should not be a big issue. But we can do it later, he says,
yes,
looking at Onegus.
Formalities aside, that would only apply if we were to be successful, correct?
And if we were interested, Xavier says, if there's one thing I hate more than bureaucracy, it's getting in bed with troublemakers. Might I remind you, we wouldn't have had a trouble with the Splagorth and be in our current status if we never ran into you. So.
We could have also just lost.
Onegus nods and then puts a claw to his chin. He says, though according to the history books, the war always started.
Hey, enough. Stop talking in front of the innocent bystander, please.
This isn't
we can
getting
talk
us any
about this
closer to our
later.
immediate goal. This is
Indigo
true.
literally reaches up and puts a hand over Onegus, looking at Isaac apologetically.
Please.
And Magnolia says, if you are done, perhaps we should consider what Xavier said.
Yes, I do think that is the appropriate action. First things first, we need to get her to a safer place. Just to make sure, do any of you know if this is only happening in the lower sections?
I'm sorry. Simmons looks up and he says, as far as I understand, yes, but there have been other things that have arisen that other leads that might also be important. But we're here now. I suppose we can follow this one.
Do you
Xavier.
think?
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think that our innocent bystander would be safe in the manors, floor 1?
Cyber 6 nods his head and he goes, well, I haven't heard anything unusual happening there, and honestly, they'd have to get through the heaviest security on the station if she's going to be safe anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's not be too hasty right now.
Mm-hmm.
The likelihood of anything coming and attacking us this very second is low. I'm not to say, but I suggest we finish up what we need to do here in this neighborhood. If something does show around, not only are there you guys and us to offer protection, but there's also that safe room we can always retreat to. I say we take the opportunity that we have now. We know Sarah. We have a better personal relationship with her. Therefore, I propose our group, do a thorough search of this residence. While you find Corsairs, go to another one and do. And Xavier gives a bit of a shrug. Whatever you guys do.
Yeah.
And after we can compare notes, please make sure to note if there are any like scratches on said walls or anything that looks beast-like.
Cyber 6 nods. I'm going to pause for just a moment and shoot over to Lucas. So, Lucas,
Yes.
backing up just a tad,
Mhm.
during the whole encounter, conversation with Onegus, Sarah will, every time some knowledge bomb is dropped accidentally, she'll look at you and very quietly go, what does he mean relocate? What does he mean time? What are they talking about?
What is
He leans back over. I don't know.
She looks at you skeptically. She gives you the not sure if serious look.
Look, I literally just met the guys. Well, I mean, there was a time before that we crossed ways, but like this is kind of like our first introduction. It's news to me.
Her looks soften and she nods, deciding to trust you. All right. Would you guys say this is a fair place to stop the session?
Sure.
I have
Sure.
two things.
Sure.
There's two things that I would like to note. One, how detailed did you tell Lucas about the whole freaking like poster thing and what happened at the robot place?
Well, I know for a fact they told you that they drew a ninja.
Yes, I got that one. But there's another piece of information that I heard as a player, but I
That's
guess Lucas
true.
can't really do that.
As a character, Talivek and Xavier, how much of what happened would you have told them?
Considering it has to do with our asses on the line, I think it's fair to say that we would be as specific as we physically could or mentally could.
Lucas would query one particular thing. Did we take anything from them?
From the Sploogs?
Yeah.
I
How are we thieves?
think so.
I don't remember taking anything from this.
Xavier, I'm assuming we'd have this conversation at some point, right? And Xavier, but we would just give a shrug. You know, it wouldn't be beyond them to start making up charges.
Yeah, just seems
Actually-
odd because they already got us for murder and things like that. Why would they have something so low as thievery?
Did they actually declare us as slaves? Or no?
Well, I'm sure they do now.
They
Well,
wanted
because
us.
if they did declare us as slaves, then us escaping could potentially be construed as us stealing
Theft
ourselves.
that we stole ourselves away from them.
That seems like a stretch.
I don't know the slave market.
I will let you guys know as players that when the events went down on Hoplite Station, they went down. You guys basically ran before anyone was really adopted as slaves.
Yeah.
And the message, the announcement, the advertisement did not specifically state that you were runaway slaves or anything of that nature.
Oh, so they're just being assholes. Gotcha.
It's their specialty.
Lucas
Okay.
would just kind of shrug and go, might be something of note at least. Maybe look into exactly what was taken.
We
maybe.
stole his pride.
Uh,
It's a joke.
Second, shouldn't we note the marking on the wall? I'm assuming it's a symbol-like thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no, it was like a gash.
It's
Oh,
just
a large
a
gash
gash.
on the
Like
wall.
a
Okay.
slash, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
There might be
jeez.
a pattern to it, but-
Magnolia did say that it was animalistic, kind of, like a
Could be.
beast could have made.
Well, she said the damage could have been.
She
Yeah.
said the state of the room, the damage of the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
To let you know, since you guys are all in the hallway, she has not examined anything in the hallway yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her initial findings were like, this is just a bunch of chaos that a rational mind wouldn't do.
Yeah.
All right, those are just the two things I wanted to know.
Mhm.
Okay. So then we'll go ahead and stop the session here, and we can start next time doing a more thorough search of the area.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well-
Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tune in